Now, we proudly present Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by
Overhead Door of Berwick, Berwick Notary, State Farm Insurance, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Community Bank, the Willows Golf Course, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg, Berwick Dental Arts, W&L Subaru, Nissan and Mazda, Reds Roofing, Preferred Portables, Nespoli Jewelers, Neighborhood Fence, Ken Pollock Ford, Mayo Funeral Home, ND Accounting and Consulting, and Mason's Monogram Service.
Now live from the studio. Here's Jim Doyle and Andy Ulickney.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight from Spartan Stadium in Troop, it's the Bulldogs against the Spartans of Mid-Valley High School. I am Jim Doyle, along with Andy Ulickney. The producer of this broadcast is Ashlyn Walshaw. Well, after opening at home last week, the Bulldogs now face back-to-back opponents on the road. They're going places they've never been to face teams they've never played before. Next week, they'll be in Factoryville to take on the Lions of Lackawanna Trail. Tonight, here in Troop, it's the Spartans of Mid-Valley, a team that is trending up. They were 7-4 a year ago, made it into the postseason playoffs, and they opened with an impressive win over Pittston area in their opener last week, 32-0. They got a great performance from their outstanding running back, Jacob Lesher, who had all 5 of their touchdowns. And they got an even better performance from a defense that completely shut down Pittston area with some great stats on that side of the football. For Berwick, a very, very frustrating debut for C.J. Curry as the head coach last week, as the Bulldogs lose to Lake Lehman 13-7, and twice had the ball at the 1-yard line on 2 different possessions, not able to get it across. Altogether, 5 carries from the 1-yard line, not able to get in for what probably would have been the winning point. So they'll try to get that first win for C.J. Curry tonight, but it won't be easy against a Mid-Valley team that's feeling very, very good about themselves, and rightfully so. Andy Ulickney with us for Bulldogs football tonight. And Andy, let's start with a positive note. Going back to last week for Berwick's opener, what did you see that you liked?
Well, I really liked the running game, Jim. I think Gavin Galusha pounding inside the tackles, getting over 70 yards was a real positive. That was there. And, of course, defensively, you've mentioned it, a very strong performance out of the Bulldogs there. What's the work in progress? I think the passing game can improve. They can get better numbers. They have all these very fast, quality receivers, but it's hard to get them the ball. I know part of their game is supposed to be the sideways pass, where you hope the guy can run and break it. They didn't really implement that. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of the running quarterback along the way. I know it was kind of in the script, but it didn't play out in the game. So we'll see what happens with those areas of the work in progress, and, if they can improve upon the areas that did do well, I think they'll be in good shape.
First meeting ever between Berwick and Mid-Valley. The Bulldogs tonight playing in a facility that underwent a $10 million renovation, not just the football stadium, but softball fields and tennis courts and baseball fields. It's really nice. Gorgeous,
gorgeous campus, Jim. We're overlooking the field up here in the press box. Now, the press box is still the original, but the field itself, you have that striping. Every 5 yards, it goes from like a lime green to a darker green and on through at the 50-yard line, right there in the middle with the Spartan helmet emblazoned in blue. Nice, bright blue end zones with the word Spartan in it. So, nice artificial surface, a beautiful complex, large stands on both sides, an impressive place to play a game.
And to be by later with the keys to tonight's game. When we return, we'll hear from Mid-Valley head coach Stan Janoski. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Step up to the plate with Journey Bank, your local community bank. As the proud sponsor of Journey Bank Ballpark, home of historic Bowman Field, we believe in the power of community and the magic of making dreams come true. Whether it's a new home, a small business, or a secure future, Journey Bank is here to guide, support, and empower you every step of the way. Journey Bank, your partner in making dreams come true. Visit journeybank.com today or any of our 22 convenient community office locations. Equal housing lender, NMLS 410779.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the 2 big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
When you've been sidelined by an injury, all you want is to get back in the game. Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. We use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Call 833-LV-ORTHO. Touchdown! Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Stop. Don't make your next car payment. Instead, get a new vehicle at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. Because right now, we're offering a 120% of Kelley Blue Book trade value buyback bonus, up to $2,500. Just find the vehicle you want from our huge selection of new Buicks and GMCs and get 120% of KBB trade-in value for yours. It's the 120% of KBB buyback bonus event going on now at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. The lowest price guaranteed.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Weekend number 2 of the 2024 high school football season kicks off tonight here at Spartan Stadium in Troop. It's the Bulldogs in their first ever meeting with the Spartans of Mid-Valley. Mid-Valley's defense turned in a stout performance last Friday in the Spartans' 32-0 win over Pittston area. They limited the Patriots to just 75 total yards, just 26 on the ground. Mid-Valley coach Stan Janoski on the strength of his team's defense.
We have a good rotation of defensive linemen, and most of them do not play on the offensive line, so they are fresher than most teams, and we have a good rotation that we can rotate like 8 different guys there. Inside linebackers, both very good. Tacklers read very well. And, you know, we timed up some blitzes pretty well that they had trouble blocking. So I just think overall, top to bottom, you know, and then, of course, Lesher had the 2 pick sixes because he's just a special athlete. But, yeah, I just think as a unit, you know, that was probably one of the best overall games our defense has played top to bottom.
Well, Jake Lesher can intercept passes, as you mentioned. He can catch passes, but he's a tremendous running back. His numbers were off the charts last year. He's off to a great start this year. We're going to see him for the first time. Tell us, what makes him a good running back?
He just has something you can't teach. He has great vision, and just he sees something. You call a play to the right, he ends up on the left somehow, and you're like, you can't even yell at him because he just has a gift that you can't teach. Like I said, he's very fast. He's deceptively fast, and he's tough as nails. He's tall, which is odd for a running back. He's taller, but he's really tough and runs hard, and you know, doesn't shy away from contact, and deceptively fast. But I think most of all is his vision and his ability to make people miss.
Your team's first meeting ever with Berwick. What's your scouting report on them? What are your concerns?
Well, with Coach Curry's grandson taking over, we saw in the film that we have a little bit of what his grandfather used to do years ago, multiple offensive sets, multiple personnel groupings. So they give you a lot to prepare for. Their line does come off the ball very well. And, you know, running back I thought was deceptively fast. And they got some burners out at wide receiver, so it's going to be a challenge.
That's Stan Janoski, now in his 5th season as head coach of the Spartans of Mid-Valley. He is Mid-Valley through and through. He's a graduate of this school. In fact, he played on the team that opened this stadium back in 1987. And, of course, he was the head coach last season when they opened up after all the renovations. They struggled just 2 years ago, winning just 2 games. But last year, they made a huge leap with a 7-4 season, expecting even better things this season. And off to a great start in that regard with that 32-0 win over Pittston area last Friday. The Spartans against the Bulldogs. We'll check the starting lineups when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Save on appliances during the Labor Day savings event going on now through September 11th at Flick Brothers Electric. Enjoy great savings on select appliances throughout the store. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwaves, stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for 70 years. Call 570-784-3444.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Overcast night here in Troop at Spartans Stadium. Rain might be headed our way. Hopefully it will hold off. Even if it does come, it will not affect the play on this beautiful artificial turf here at Spartans Stadium as the Bulldogs get set to take on Mid-Valley High School for the first time. Here's the starting lineup offensively for Berwick. At the tight end, a freshman, number 9, Gabe Decker. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. Boy, a two-way player and a captain as a 9th grader. That's pretty impressive. And he was impressive last week, not only from his defensive end position, but also as the tight end spot, as he had a couple of catches for 22 yards. In fact, one near the goal line where he almost got in for what might have been a winning score. At the left tackle, number 56, J.J. Leonard. He is a 6', 255-pound junior. The left guard is number 70, Draven Geiger, 5'11", 275, a junior. Starting center is number 51, Gavin Jones. He is 5'8", 215, a senior. Matt Gordner starts at the right guard spot. He wears number 62. Matt is 6', 280 pounds, a junior. The right tackle is number 64, Chase Shuckers, 6'2", 265, a senior. At a wide receiver position, number 0, the first Berwick player ever to wear that number, Billy Hansen, 6'1", 175, a senior. He caught a touchdown pass on Berwick's first possession last week, a 28-yard strike. On the game, two catches for 31 yards and that touchdown. We'll also see number 7, Julian Howe. He is a 6'2", 185-pound senior. Hasn't been out for football since 9th grade, but he is a very, very talented player. Caught a pass for 12 yards in that season opener. Ty Wilkerson will also do some pass catching tonight. He is a 6'2", 190-pound junior, District 2 champion in the 100 meters. And he caught a couple of passes for 23 yards and also carried the ball a couple of times in that opener. The quarterback who made his Berwick quarterbacking debut last week, number 1, Ashton Smith. He's 5'11", 205 pounds, a junior. He was 8 for 18 in that opener for 113 yards, 1 touchdown. He was intercepted one time, but that came late in the game. It was kind of desperation time for the Bulldogs. Andy mentioned Gavin Galusha earlier. The sophomore had a terrific opener, 97 yards in total offense. 22 carries for 72 yards on the ground. In fact, considering that last year as a 9th grader in varsity, he had 15 carries the entire season. That was an impressive start. He also caught a dump pass from Ashton Smith and raced 25 yards with that one. The fullback position, when Berwick uses one tonight, will be manned primarily by Aiden George, number 90, a 6'1", 220-pound sophomore. Now, Everett Snyder, who started the opening game and had 4 carries in that game and is the starting inside linebacker on defense, is out with an ankle issue. So we'll see Aiden George at fullback. As far as the defensive unit, we'll see some of Aiden George in place of Everett Snyder. We also might see Brock Sims at that linebacker spot as well. So that's the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs under C.J. Curry in his first season as head coach. They had good balance, run and pass in that opening game. 107 rushing yards, 113 passing, 220 total yards. They did, however, turn the ball over 2 times. No turnovers for Lake Lehman. A big difference in the game, and obviously a even bigger difference, the fact that Bulldogs could not get it done from close to the goal line on 2 different great opportunities. So Berwick comes in 0-1. Mid-Valley lines up offensively at the tight end with number 89, Jake Bondi. He's a 5'11", 185-pound junior. He can catch the football. He can also punt the football. He's a terrific punter, maybe the best we'll see all season. Second-team All-State in that department. Last season, he had 4 punts for 50 or more yards. The left tackle for the Spartans, number 78, Devin Hill. He's 5'11", 250 pounds, a junior. Nick Jackson, one of their captains, is the left guard. He is 6'1", 235 pounds, a senior. Robert Mattioli is the starting center. He wears number 68. He's 5'10", 235, a junior. Gavin Richards starts at right guard. He is 6'5", 300 pounds, a senior. Dylan Masioko is the right tackle. Maseko, I should say. He wears number 71. He is 6'2", 265, a sophomore. At one wide receiver position, number 8, Connor Hughes, 5'9", 180-pound senior. 23 catches a year ago and off to a good start this season. 5 receptions for 43 yards against Pittston area last week. We'll also see another Connor Bartlett, number 15, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. The quarterback is number 5, Brett Janoski. He is the son of head coach Stan Janoski. Last year, due to an injury, he was forced into action as a sophomore and ended up starting the last 6 games of the season for the Spartans. In the opener last week against Pittston area, 9 for 15, 123 yards, and a touchdown. The running back is Jacob Lesher. He wears number 10. He is 6'3", 175, a senior. I don't know if there's going to be a player in the state that's going to have a better game this season than he did in the opener against Pittston area. Unbelievable. 5 touchdowns. On the ground, 20 carries, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Receiving, he caught a 70-yard touchdown pass against Pittston area. On the defensive side, he ran back 2 interceptions for touchdowns. So a brilliant start to what has been a brilliant career for Lesher. Last season, 1,485 yards and 18 touchdowns. Not surprisingly, he was a first-team Lackawanna Football Conference Division II. The fullback leading the way for him will be number 32, Caleb Parry. He is 5'10", 215 pounds, a senior. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Spartans of Mid-Valley. They had 196 yards rushing as a team last week against Pittston area, 123 passing. Stan Janoski is now in his 5th season as head coach of the Spartans. His record, 20 up and 20 down. But remember, 7-4 last year and off to a great start this year. So it's the Spartans against the Bulldogs. The keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, Jim, you really did feature in the lineup Jacob Lesher, the running back for Mid-Valley, and Berwick defensively somehow has to find a way to stop him. First, you look at his size, 6'3", which you rarely see any running back at any level of ball at 6'3", 175 pounds. And he's extremely tough. He's extremely fast. He has a great cutback move. You mentioned 2 interception returns for touchdown, a 70-yard pass receptions. You have to watch him if he flanks out or if they move him out of the backfield into receiving. But you really worry about him as the feature running back. In the opening week, they decided we're going to establish him, and he had 9 straight carries in the opening possession for 87 yards. He's the guy you got to stop. So the defensive key for Berwick is somehow find a way to limit Jacob Lesher. Last week, you mentioned 156 yards on 20 carries. Last season, 1,485 yards, and he's just off to that great start. So somehow you have to focus on him, key on him, and make it happen. A little harder without Everett Snyder, one of your best linebackers, not being able to play this week with an ankle injury. But it falls upon the others. Berwick's defense looked solid last week. It was a tied game, a real close game until the final minutes. They were able to slow down a very good running game from Blake Lehman. They're going to have to, really, put some helmets on things to be able to stop this tremendous running back in Jacob Lesher. And, of course, off of his running game, they can pass. So you have to keep all aspects of the defense honest. And Berwick played well at every level. Defensive line, linebacker, and, of course, the secondary is very good. Turn it around, Berwick's offense. I think you want to establish the running game with Galusha yet again. But most of his yards was inside. And that's where the teeth of this defense is. Mid-Valley's interior linebackers are featured. Gavin Rapouche, one of the coach's sons, he's strong. He's a 190-pounder in the middle. Opposite him or alongside of him, Caleb Parry goes 215 pounds. They read well, they tackle well, they do a lot of blitzing, and I think it's going to be tougher for Galusha to run inside the tackle. So Berwick's might have to look at a perimeter game or do the dive fake with Galusha to run the quarterback and get the passing game going as well. So a little bit of a different game plan probably in the works. Got to get that perimeter game going, whether it's quarterback run, whether it's sideways passes, whether it's downfield passing. We'll see what the game plan calls for. That's how I see the keys in this one, Jim.
Yeah, you mentioned Everett Snyder. In a situation like this, when you're going against a Jacob Lesher in a 4-3 for the most part, boy, you'd like to have your man in the middle there.
Yeah, he's the middle man. He's your feature linebacker. He can be in on every tackle, but he's not there. Now, Berwick didn't run a lot of its 4-3 last week. Blake Lehman was able to find vulnerability out in the C gap, and Berwick was kind of forced to go to a 5-2 look. Now, whether they choose and feel that's a better run-stop defense, we'll see, over the course of the game as the first quarter develops, which defensive look are they going to go with? Will it be two inside linebackers, or will it be Aiden George in the middle and, everyone else around him trying to limit what they can get out of Jacob Lesher, try to slow him down in the running game?
Bulldogs about to make their way on the far side of the field. White jerseys, white pants, blue numerals, and trim. And down below us, to our left, the Spartans of Mid-Valley. Blue jerseys, white pants, white numerals, white helmets and trim, about to make their appearance on the field. Andy, the captains are going to meet at the center of the field soon. And I asked C.J. Curry about his situation with the captains. First of all, they have a team vote. And the team voted for Alex Estrella and Gabe Decker. And they're going to be the captains for every game. And then they're also going to have two other players rotating based on performance and effort in the previous game. Tonight's going to be Chase Shuckers and Gavin Galusha. But getting to Gabe Decker,
wow,
it's one thing for a ninth grader to be a captain, which is very, very unusual. It's another thing for the team to vote him there. You've got seniors and juniors, and they're willing to put him out there as a captain. He's got to be something special.
Yeah, sometimes coaches see something special and can jump and say, hey, this is a guy who can help us lead. But when his teammates choose him as an underclassman, as a true freshman to be out there, that's special. I was talking with Everett Snyder in the pregame, Jim. He's not in uniform. And I said, Jeepers, I thought when Gabe Decker caught that pass near the goal line, I thought he was in. Everett said he was in. Wouldn't that change things?
I guess so. In a 6-point loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this should be an interesting one here tonight. And Berwick's schedule is different from previous seasons. As I mentioned, back-to-back weeks, they're going to go against teams they've never played before, but two teams that are really trending up right now. Lackawanna Trail on a great run with their program, and Mid-Valley feeling very good about theirs. So Berwick needs to get it going tonight and get a win on the road. They know if they get one, they will have earned it.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge, Jim. I think I read in the preseason reviews that 10 of the 11 starters are back offensively, including Jake Lesher, who rushed for just under 1,500 yards last year. Brent Janoski, the junior quarterback, is a youngster. He didn't start the season last year, but after an injury, he came in and played the last 6 games, so he's basically a veteran as well. And defensively already featured how strong they can be. We mentioned Rapuch and Parry on the inside to stop the running game. But in the secondary, Jake Lesher at 6'3", with 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns. That's a rather daunting defense.
We mentioned the captains who would be meeting at the center of the field. They're doing that just now. The captains for Mid-Valley: Jacob Lesher, Nick Jackson, Connor Hughes, and Gavin Rapuch, as they're meeting with the officiating crew that has Brian Finnegan as the referee. Patrick Salvage is the umpire. The head linesman is Alan Finnegan. The line judge is Kyle Costello. The field judge, Dave Pacchione. James Geiger is the side judge. A Finnegan, a Costello, 3 Irishmen. I'm good with that.
Oh,
group.
you can't beat that, can you, Jimmy? Mid-Valley did win the toss. That happened about 40 minutes ago. They lined them up, showed that they won the toss and declined the option. Berwick will choose to receive down to our left, so that's the way we're going to start it up.
Mid-Valley against Berwick, back with the kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family-owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
The all-new Willows Golf Course and Events venue in Berwick is making strides this fall. They'll be taking reservations at the end of the year for any of the 3 fully renovated event rooms, with their own new delectable menu options, bar offerings, and comfortable room accommodations. Check out their Facebook page for updates and information on how to book your next corporate event or special day at the Willows Golf Course and Event venue in Berwick. The Willows is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
W234BH West Hazelton at 94.7, WBWX at W242CY Berwick at 96.3, W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3, and W288CF Danville at 105.5. Your home for Berwick Bulldogs football is Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains media station. WHLM Bloomsburg.
As Andy mentioned earlier, Mid-Valley won the toss, deferred to the second half. Berwick will get the football. The Bulldogs will be moving from our left to our right as we view things here in the opening half. Dylan Henderson, a senior, will kick off for the Spartans. And deep for Berwick, Caleb May and Ty Wilkerson. That is a lot of speed deep for Berwick.
I know you'd like to see both of them touch the ball a little bit more, Jim. Caleb May is ready to explode and have a big season. Got to get him to touches. And, of course, Ty Wilkerson, he had some chances on jet sweeps and receiving. He's looked good in the opener.
Henderson will kick it off. First meeting ever between Berwick and Mid-Valley is underway. The kick takes a high bounce, fielded by Caleb May at the 10, to the far side, to the 15, to the 20, hit really hard as he gets up to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he was really popped in there by Caleb Parry, Jim. We'll see him at inside linebacker as you set the defense.
Defense Starts with Reese Williams and Michael Wall at the ends. Chris Setzer and Nick Jackson at the tackles. Inside linebackers, Gavin Rapuch and Caleb Perry. Jake Bondi and Connor Hughes outside. The corners, Jacob Lesher and Wyatt Youngblood. And Jaden Manson is the senior. They marked the ball at the 25-yard line. That's where Berwick has it for the first snap of the game. Ashton Smith under center. The give coming around the right side and nothing doing. A loss back to the 24-yard line as they went with Billy Hansen on his first carry of the season, but the Spartans would have none of it. Now they are giving Billy forward motion to the 27-yard line, so he does pick up 2. Second down and 8.
Yeah, they try those jet sweeps, end arounds, whatever you want to call it. And they've been trying it with Wilkerson. They left one on the field last week. This time they open with Billy Hansen, but it doesn't fool.
I formation now. Gabe Decker is the tight end to the left. And flag down on the play.
Mid-Valley pointed to movement, kind of in the left side of the offensive line, so Berwick may be going back 5 yards. You know that they're going to be tough inside with those 2 linebackers that we've mentioned, Jim, but I think you also want to know which corner will you be seeing Jacob Lesher. He's on the right side. That's toward the Berwick sideline right now. And I think when you look at your passing game, I think you want to throw away from him. 6'3", he has a lot of area he can cover now. He's switching to the left side.
And he is on Ty Wilkerson. 2nd and 13. I formation. Galusha's the tailback in the I. Smith fakes to him. Back to throw. Fires downfield over the head of a wide-open Gabe Decker at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, running a crossing pattern in there, Jim, and unable to complete it. Overthrown. They ran Ty Wilkerson deep. He took Lesher out of the play. And then from the far side, you see the tight end coming underneath. He was there, but the ball thrown over his head.
Nick Pinto comes in as an extra defensive back for the Spartans as Berwick faces 3rd down and 13 from their own 22-yard line.
Might play it conservative, see how they go. You might run the quarterback.
Wilkerson is wide to the left. And rolling that way is Smith, and he stops. Now he's got to scramble. He's hit. He's sacked back at the 18-yard line.
Nick Jackson coming in. He wanted to roll, semi-roll to the left, but he got turned around, forced to scramble to his right, and before he could adjust and square the shoulders, Nick Jackson pops him for the sack.
So it's 4th and 17 for the Bulldogs. They'll be forced to punt from deep in their own territory, and Jacob Lesher, along with Connor Hughes, are both deep for the Spartans. Low snap, but the kick is away. It was Lisnock on the punt. Takes a great roll where Berwick is concerned, and still rolling, and trying to make it go a little further was Brock Sims as it goes to the 36-yard line. So Lisnock left foots it downfield with an effective punt. Spartans will get it for the first time against a Berwick defense that lines up with Gabe Decker, J.J. Leonard, Chase Shuckers, and Skylar Neville across the front. The linebackers, Shiloh Escobar, Rocco Romeo, and Aiden George. The corners, Caleb May and Billy Hansen. Ty Wilkerson and Alex Estrella are the safeties.
They are starting with the 4-3 look with the true middle linebacker.
1st and 10, Spartans at their own 37. The give is to Lesher off the right side, and Lesher with a good first down carry is over the 40, near the 43-yard line.
His line opened it up well toward the C gap on the right side. We mentioned Berwick was relatively vulnerable in their 4-3. When teams ran to that C gap, he'll stretch that for 5 or 6.
2nd down and 5. Spartans at their own 42-yard line. Now they have Lesher wide to the right side at 6'3". He's covered by Caleb May. Lesher with a really good size advantage there.
May played great defense last week in pass coverage.
Pinto in motion. 3 receivers to this side, and the pass is knocked down incomplete. Nice play, Billy Hansen. The pass intended for Nick Pinto, and Hansen timed it perfectly and actually got both hands on it.
field. You think they might go in his direction. Instead, they came opposite. Came to the left.
.42. Connor Hughes wide to the right. Connor Bartlett wide left. Brett Janoski from the gun. Gives to Lesher, looking for room, lowers the shoulder, and he comes up a yard short at the 45-yard line. Berwick will bring him down short of the sticks.
Indecisive on the exchange, Jim. Are we seeing the punter come on? They have one of the best punters in the area.
4th down and 1.
Nope.
And they will go for it at their own 45-yard line.
Might bark the signals.
Lesher, and they are in Berwick territory at the 40.
Have a talent like Lesher at 6'3" who runs tough, and you only need a little less than a yard. They decide, hey, we can do this.
He got 6, and the Spartans at the Bulldog 49-yard line. And the quarterback shifts. He's now in the shotgun. And there's movement as Connor Hughes broke. And it will be a 5-yard walk-off on Mid-Valley.
It certainly hurts Mid-Valley's offense. You lose your rhythm. You made a 4th down conversion to continue the drive. And all of a sudden you get a bit of a rolling start after a late shift. So 1st and 15. Actually, I think they measured it wrong. It looks closer to 16, Jim, but Berwick will take that.
Brett Janoski, the son of head coach Stan Janoski, is the quarterback. 5'9", 165-pound junior, left-hander. He's got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He's got a running back to either side of him as he waits the shotgun snap. And he gives the ball straight ahead and nothing doing.
Yeah, real nice play by Jake Lisnock crashing in from defensive end. He had 2 running backs, 1 on each side of him in shotgun. They crossed Lesher, and you think he's going to get the ball, but they gave it to the other back going in the other direction. But Lisnock saw it. Berwick had nice penetration. They'll lose another yard or 2.
Mason Vinansky on that carry. They lost 2, 2nd and 17. Now Lesher lines up to the right side. There's a slot, actually 3 receivers to that side. And Lesher comes in motion. They toss it to him, turns the corner, looks for running room, tripped up as he gets to the Berwick 48, maybe the 47-yard line.
Billy Hansen diving in after about 6 yards of the gain. Sort of a jet sweeping action. He takes the pitch forward from the quarterback, and he's at full speed as he's turning the corner. He's past the line of scrimmage, but Hansen coming up from corner, goes at the ankles, trips him up. They'll still need 9 yards here on 3rd down.
8 yards on that carry by Jacob Lesher, who will probably become Mid-Valley's all-time career rushing leader before his career is done. Here's a 3rd and 9 for the Berwick 48. Vinoski back to throw, fires incomplete. Good coverage down at the 30-yard line. The pass intended for Connor Bartlett and Billy Hansen on the coverage. So the Bulldogs get a stop.
Yeah, they tried to run him deep, Jim, but then the quarterback saw, hey, we don't have him beat. I'll try to back shoulder it. By the time they planted and came back, both he and Hansen fell down. Coverage very strong. We'll see this all-star punter.
Jake Bondi, second-team All-State a year ago, standing back at his 40-yard line. Good snap, and gets the kick away.
Oh, does he ever?
It is high, and it is deep, and it's fielded by Hansen at the 12-yard line. And he looks for some running room, and he has it over the 20 to the 24. So nice return by Billy Hansen. A terrific punt by Jake Bundy.
And Lesher made the tackle, Jim, and he's come up limping. Will he be able to shake that off? I don't think. He's down on the field on the far hash. So it was a rainmaker of a punt. You assume he'll fair catch it. He chooses not to. They have to halo him and give him enough room. Catches it, sidesteps left. Gets about 4 or 5 yards before Lesher brings him down. But in doing so, he twists his ankle. He's jogging off the field now. That's the applause of the Mid-Valley fans here on this near side.
But he will not be in for this defensive series. And remember, he is excellent on that side of the football as well. 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns last week in that win over Pittston area. So Berwick with the football. Their second possession. 5:40 to go in the scoreless first quarter. Bulldogs moving from our left to our right, have the ball at their own 25-yard line.
We've yet to see Gavin Galusha with the carry.
And flags and whistles.
Don't know if everything wasn't set. Flag here on the near side. False start. Berwick's backing the huddle up. I didn't see the movement, but the linesman did.
So the Bulldogs hurry themselves with penalties. Early score, Mount Carmel leading Central Columbia 7-0 in the opening quarter. Mount Carmel looking for the school's 900th win overall. One of the top marks in the entire nation, certainly number 1 in Pennsylvania. 1st and 15 Bulldogs. Ashton Smith out of the gun. Gives the ball to Galusha, tries the left side, nothing doing.
Way too much penetration, Jim. The line got penetration. Caleb Perry was blitzing. I'd give him most of the credit for the tackle. Lucky if he gained a yard. I think he may have lost a yard.
So Bulldogs finding it tough going here early against this Mid-Valley defense that played so well a week ago. They give Galusha to the line of scrimmage. But it'll be 2nd and 15 as Billy Hansen splits wide to the right. There's a slot to the left.
Still no Lesher in the secondary.
Smith gives the ball to Galusha again and again. Nothing doing, maybe a yard on the play.
Well, they're being beaten on the inside. Nick Jackson, who had a sack in the last series, again with about 2 yards of penetration, runs into Galusha before he can get anything going. Again, maybe half a yard, maybe not.
They mark it close to the 21. We'll call 3rd down and 14 for Berwick. Julian Howe is a wide receiver to the left. In a slot to that side is Wilkerson. Billy Hansen wide right.
Lesher back in on the right side.
Smith gets a high snap. He's back to throw. He's looking long downfield into traffic, and it's incomplete. As Lesher was there, as they try to go long to Ty Wilkerson, and the punt team on for Berwick.
Actually double coverage. Lesher was behind him running. If the ball was able to drop inside, there was a chance for Wilkerson to make the catch. But the safety also dropping deep in the area.
So the last time Berwick punted, it was Jake Lisnock. Not a particularly good punt, but got a great roll of this artificial turf. Jake will try it again. He's standing back at the Berwick 8-yard line. Low snap. Gets it on the bounce. Gets the kick away. Fair catch. Lesher at the Mid-Valley 49-yard line. So good field position for the Spartans for their second possession with 4:13 to go in this scoreless first quarter.
Berwick in punt formation takes big gaps in the A gap, but then they have that swinging door behind with 2 setbacks ready to pick anyone shooting up the middle, another guy closing it off. I think the design is going to be to try to pooch kick it, keep it away from Lesher. That time it was a little short, and he just chose to fair catch it. They'll do it offensively.
Spartans break the huddle. They send Nick Pinto as a wide receiver to the right. Connor Bartlett left, and an I formation behind the junior quarterback, Brett Janoski.
Movement or a timeout? I thought Mid-Valley moved, Jim. They were set, and then the line seemed to get up. Like, wait, what's going on? Is there a stoppage? So 5 yards again. Both teams hurting themselves on their opening plays of the drives. 5 yards back.
1st and 15 for the Spartans. Janoski will operate out of the pistol. Behind him is Jacob Lesher. Fake to Lesher. Yanowski back to throw. Dumps a pass off to the far side. It's Connor Hughes, and he is surrounded quickly and gets just to the 47-yard line. So completion, but just for 3 yards.
And Berwick's jumped into its 5-man line, playing the 5-2, I think anticipating Lesher's run. But a quick little play action, a quick dump, the line of scrimmage over to the right side, but Berwick quickly in position to limit it to a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 12, Spartans at their own 47-yard line. Berwick has Nico Lonsinski in that interior right now. Jake Bondi's the tight end on the right for the Spartans for this 2nd and long play. Again, they operate out of the pistol. Fake to Lesher, rolling left, pass complete to Connor Hughes, gets by one man and gets to the Berwick 48, maybe the 47-yard line. Ty Wilkerson was there first, couldn't wrap him up. But then the Bulldogs converged. Aiden George among the people in on the play. A gain of 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Spartans.
They like throwing to Connor Hughes. That's his 2nd catch in the last 2 plays. He had 5 catches last week for 43 yards. Little spit passes, very easy completes, hoping that he could run for more after he makes the catch.
And now Hughes is wide to the right for this 3rd down and 7 play. The give is to Lesher up the middle, and he runs very, very close to a 1st down. Boy, quick hitter by him. And he was up the gut. Very, very close. See if they got it. I'm sure they'll be going for it if they did.
They're keeping the chain about a football length short. Of course, the officials have to eyeball that and see it for sure. Quick hitter is what you're saying, Jim. He's 7-8 yards deep. He's behind the quarterback in shotgun. But he got it at the acceleration. They're going to bring the chains in, I believe, to have a look at this one. Of course, you got to spot that ball. They moved it to the middle of the field.
No, they're calling it short.
Calling it short.
So 4th down and 1 yard. Earlier, Mid-Valley went for it on 4th and 1 from their own territory, so obviously they're going for it here as Parry, good-sized fullback, ahead of Jacob Lesher in the eye. 4th down, less than 1 yard from the Berwick 41. A fumble on the snap. The scramble is on. If Mid-Valley has the football, they have the 1st down.
He fumbled it between the center's legs, and it rolled forward. He went right down to cover it, and it should move the chains, as you said, Jim, and that's the case.
Well, it's not like they drew it up, but they got it, and they have a 1st down at the Berwick 39 as we go under 2 minutes remaining in this scoreless 1st quarter.
They did want to give it behind the fullback to Lesher, running off the left side, but the snap never controlled. They get the 1st down on the fortunate roll.
Lesher is the lone running back. He's lined up to the right of Yanowski, who operates out of the shotgun. Long count as the snap, gives to Lesher, hit behind the line, breaks free, still on his feet, gets to the 33-yard line. Well, Berwick got great penetration. A man had him and then didn't have him.
Yeah, Jay Shuckers is the man who had the penetration and kind of wrapped around his hips, but slid on out. The runner, Lesher, proves elusive, able to kick away, run to his left, and get 6 yards out of it.
Yeah, with most high school backs that we'll see, that's a loss.
Yep.
He picks up 6, and it's 2nd and 4. Spartans on the move at the Bulldog 33-yard line. Connor Hughes on a wing to the right side. Yanowski looks to the sideline for change of play, and then calls a timeout. 32 seconds ago, opening quarter, no score. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Are you in the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find it, whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV, or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page, and go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Spartan Stadium in Troop. We have 32 seconds remaining in the opening quarter of the first ever meeting between Berwick and Mid-Valley. No score in the game, but Mid-Valley, following their timeout, has something going. They have the ball at the Berwick 33-yard line. They're facing 2nd down and 4.
They've hurt themselves with penalties, some miscues along the way, Jim. That's a good first down play to start this drive. Set up a 2nd and 5. I'd keep feeding Jake Blesher if I was Mid-Valley.
Gavin Pooch is a wide receiver to the right. They set a man in motion to that side. Back to throws. Yanowski throws right into the hands of Wilkerson. He has the interception. He's going down the far sideline. Over midfield to the 45, to the 40. Still on his feet. And Ty Wilkerson is going to go all the way for a Berwick touchdown. Yanowski's pass right into the breadbasket of Ty Wilkerson. He takes it the distance. Berwick did not get a turnover in that entire game last week. They get a huge one here to take the lead.
Well, that one's a gift, Jim. They had trips receivers. I heard the coaches yelling, "Oh, it's there." And he threw it right to Wilkerson, who was just dropping into his zone. Wilkerson catches it, picks up a couple blockers in front of him, and then that incredible speed that he has. He runs down the sideline the first 20 yards in somewhat of a measured way, and then he turned on the jets to get to the end zone. Huge turnover.
Caleb Bell will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Ashton Smith. Aiden George does the long snapping for the Bulldogs. Snap, placement, Bell's kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 18 seconds to go, opening quarter. Berwick 7, Mid-Valley nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Berwick strikes first, getting a huge play from Ty Wilkerson. Picks off the pass, goes 71 yards for a Berwick score. Caleb Bell with the extra point. 7-0 Bulldogs, 18 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Boy, Mid-Valley had called a timeout to set up that play.
And the coaches thought they had it open. They moved motion toward trips. Wilkerson's on the side, barely drops. And instead of throwing to open receiver, they threw it right to Wilkerson. Had to put it right in front of his face mask. Caught it, surprised. And then down the sideline he went, picking up blockers and using the speed. Huge turnover, touchdown there.
Caleb Bell teeing up the ball for the Bulldogs as Jacob Lesher and Connor Hughes await this kick.
Can't really get it teed up, can he, Jim?
No.
He's been with his hands on that tee for the last minute and a half.
They may
have
need
to get someone to hold it.
Can you get a delay game here?
I think the officials would come and say, get somebody to hold this for you.
Go ahead. Rocco Romeo will do the honors.
Right-handed kicker, put the holder over on the opposite side.
So Bell will kick it off. Lesher and Hughes, 2 good athletes deep for the Spartans. Bell's kick skitters along the turf and covered by one of the up men at the 29-yard line. So they don't go long to those 2 people. And Mid-Valley will get the football for the 3rd time in this opening quarter. They've had great field position. In fact, last time they had it at the Berwick 33-yard line. But the Bulldogs, with that big defensive play, lead 7-0.
Jaden Manson fell on that, but had plenty of time to pick it up and return it for at least 5 yards. I watched Berwick in the warm-ups, and they were working on the squib kick, kicking it along the ground. No desire to put it deep to those dangerous return men.
Wide receiver to either side. Yanowski out of the gun. Gives the ball to Lesher off the right side. Jacob Lesher on his feet. Good first down carry to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line on what will be the final play of this opening quarter. With the score, Berwick 7, Mid-Valley nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family-owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
1 quarter in the books here at Spartan Stadium in Troop. Berwick leading Mid-Valley by a score of 7-0. We start this quarter with the Spartans with the football at their own 36-yard line, facing a 2nd and 4. They're moving from our left to our right in this second period. As Brett Janoski at the quarterback controls, gives the ball to Lesher. Lesher lowers the shoulder, still going out to midfield. Wow. We know he has some speed. He has some power as well. You saw a couple of Bulldog jerseys kept moving, and it's a 14-yard pickup of a first down.
It seemed like some of the safeties had a shot to just square up and go right into him while he was dragging players. And whether they slid off to the side or avoided the hit, he got way too much there.
14 yards on the carry by Jacob Lesher. And he gets the call again. He tries the left side, and he's got some yardage into Berwick territory around the 46-yard line.
Tumbling at the very end of the run, Jim, running off the left side. He'll get 4 there. They like to use him as a workhorse. 20 carries in the opener for 156 yards. That'll be 4 yards on the opening of this new set of downs.
Second down call coming. Mid-Valley in Berwick territory for the second time. Last time, the interception and the big return by Wilkerson. And Berwick with that 7-0 lead here early in the second. Slot to the left side. Berwick coming on the blitz, and they got Lesher behind the line of scrimmage. Rocco Romeo timed that run blitz perfectly. Got Lesher before he could get up that head of steam. It'll lose the yard back to the 48 to bring up 3rd and 8.
R.J. Haas, defensive coordinator, dialing up the blitz, and Rocco Romeo coming hard through the A-gap. Gets to Lesher before he can get anything going. He'll drop him for a 2-yard loss.
So 3rd down call coming. Spartans at the Bulldog 48. Connor Bartlett getting on late.
Don't know if he can come from the sideline, not come out of the huddle.
3 receivers to the right. He's to the left. Here comes Lesher in motion. Toss to him on the jet sweep, and he will get a couple, but not enough for the first down. He'll get about 4, get about half of what he needed. We might see Mid-Valley go for it here. No, looks like multiple substitutions and the punting team coming on.
Yeah, they're going to need a good 4 yards, and you still could bark the signals or shift from punt formation and hope to induce an offsides. They are across the 50 comfortably. Their defense has played relatively well. Berwick's offense has pretty much been stymied, but they have faith in this punter, Jim.
Sean Bankus deep for Berwick. Jake Bondi gets the snap, gets the kick away. Very, very high. It will bounce inside the 5, headed toward the end zone, and
1 yard line. Bounced out at the 1 yard line, and the official's right there to see it. I had it in the binoculars. They weren't going to field it. They watched it bounce, thinking it was going out. It hit near the sideline and then bounced toward the goal. And then the very last bounce takes it out before it gets across the pylon. Terrible field position for Berwick. Great punt for Mid-Valley.
Where are they putting the football?
They should put it on the 1 yard line, Jim.
Yeah, now they have it.
Yep.
Official had it in his hands out of the 6. So Berwick has it with 9:12 to go in this first half. Moving from our right to our left, they have a 7-0 lead, but they have the ball in a precarious position against a team that they haven't moved the ball at all on yet. There was an illegal use of hands against Berwick on that return. So that'll move it to the
half-yard line. But it makes it worse, Jim. You know, if you have any problem with the snap, if they get penetration and get to your running back, you might just be in quarterback sneak territory here. The nose of the football is practically on the goal line. Tight splits, and they got to wedge it out of here.
So a big first down call for Berwick to try to get some room.
Jake Listnock quarterbacking.
And a timeout called by Mid-Valley. 9:12 to go. Opening half, 7-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at insurebloomsburg.com.
Coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
9:12 to go in the first half. Berwick leading 7-0, but in a very precarious spot. They have the ball near their goal line. Boy, Bondi is a weapon as a punter.
Oh, boy, isn't he?
His kicks are so high, they make you think about whether you want to field it or not. Billy Hansen did the first time. I thought Sean Bankus did the right thing in letting that go. But unfortunately for Berwick, it went out at the 1, and then the penalty marks it back even a little farther. So big first down play. Mid-Valley with just one timeout remaining.
Jake Listnock, the bigger quarterback, taking the snap.
And he takes it off the left side and breaks the tackle, gets out to the 5-yard line. That is a big, big 4-yard gain by Jake Listnock.
Yeah, he bounced over the left guard and then outside the left tackle. Found a little room before they were able to drag him down just short of the 5. That is huge yardage when you're backed up where your backs are in the end zone.
2nd down and 6. Berwick at the 5-yard line. So Listnock comes in with his team at the 1-inch line. Thanks, Coach. Here's a 2nd down call.
He's staying in there.
Bulldogs from their 5. Galusha, 1 yard deep in his own end zone, takes the handoff off the left side, hit hard as he gets to the 9.
Boy, when it's hit hard like that, you just sense that it's going to be Caleb Perry, Jim. He put a pop on in the opening kickoff, and he put a pop on there. But Galusha will trade the hit for the 4 or 5 yards he just got there, setting up a 3rd and 1. Makeable.
This is a big call here. Berwick has not punted the ball particularly well. If they don't get this first down, they're likely to give Mid-Valley terrific field position.
Watch Listnock sneaking it.
Wide receiver to either side. Listnock under center. Galusha is the running back. Listnock keeps the football after a fake, and he's buried back on the 2-yard line. Jake Bondi in to make the play.
I don't know if it was a busted play. He went to hand it off to Galusha, and there was no mesh, no exchange. He had the ball. He's about a yard behind the runner, and penetration's coming on him. I don't think it was any type of a fake give and a waggle. I think they might have just missed the handoff, and that'll set up the Berwick punt. They've been punting by design to avoid these return men. And boy, you don't want that short punt now if you don't have to.
Aiden George with an important snap as Listnock, as deep as he can be in the Berwick end zone. High snap, gets the kick away with Sean Bankus on the punt. Bankus with the punt and takes a good roll where Berwick is concerned and goes out to around the 44-yard line of the Bulldogs. So great field position, but could have been a lot worse where Berwick's concerned. 6:48 remaining in the first half. And the Bulldogs continuing to lead this one by a score of 7-0.
And overall, Berwick has to be very pleased with the defensive effort they've had. I think Mid-Valley, well, they've had some flashes where Jake Lesher's able to get some nice, strong runs off. Just hasn't been as consistent. Some untimely motion penalties, and they just seem to be out of sync sometimes.
Mid-Valley at the Berwick 44-yard line as they move from our left to our right. I formation. Perry's the fullback. Jacob Lesher is the tailback behind him. Perry gets the call up the middle. Lots of running room. Still on his feet inside the 30, inside the 25-yard line. They go straight to the fullback, Perry, and he carries tacklers for a big first down.
Mentioned how physical he's been defensively. He does the same thing blocking, Jim. He's going to come off because he lost his shoe about 10 yards into that run. Extremely physical. His first carry of the season.
And he'll pick up 18 on the carry and a first down for Mid-Valley at the Berwick 26-yard line. Deepest penetration of the game for the Spartans, who trail 7-0, 6:15 to go in the opening half. Berwick showing blitz. Then they back off, then they come again. Lesher gets the call off the left side, and Lesher will get a good first down carry to the 20-yard line.
We sees things well, Jim. The blitz seemed to fill every gap. He got it. There was a little pause right behind his right guard. He saw a little bit of a seam to the right of that. Took it, and he stretches it for 6.
Mason Venonsky, who had a carry earlier, into the offense for Mid-Valley as they have it at the Berwick 20-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Connor Hughes in a slot to the left. Connor Bartlett outside of him. Gavin Rapooch wide to the right. Now the quarterback with the running back to either side of him gives to Lesher, slips momentarily, still gets away, still on his feet, and carries tacklers to the 10-yard line. Boy, Lesher's good, but Berwick is not tackling well.
Caleb May, from his cornerback, was in the backfield. He had the runner at a standstill and then get himself going to the right, and it should have been an easy tackle, Jim, but he couldn't bring him down.
9 yards on that carry. So it is a 1st and 10 for Mid-Valley. They have it at the Berwick 11-yard line.
Parry's back in there to block.
Full house backfield. Venonsky under center. Gives the ball to Lesher off the left side. Lesher's inside the 5. Lesher is down around the 4-yard line.
I have him with 82 yards here in the first half, Jim. That straight T backfield all went to the C gap on the left side. People picked up. Double teams coming. Lesher running behind it. Gets whatever seam he has. Knifes on through. Cuts back and gets a good 6.
They mark it at the Berwick 6-yard line. 2nd down call. Again, the full house backfield. Donosky, the junior quarterback, under center. Under 4 to go now in this opening half. Call goes to Connor Hughes off the left side, and Hughes gets very, very close to the goal line.
Surprising to see Connor Hughes get that carry. I really myself don't understand. Lesher's the man. Parry's the blocker. And you're giving it to a guy who pretty much has his first carry of the season. Now he got it down there. He'll get a first down, so successful.
1st and goal. Mid-Valley. 1 yard away from the Berwick goal line with 3.5 minutes to go in this opening half.
Very deliberate down here on the goal line. I noticed when the quarterback gets to the line of scrimmage, he too takes his time, make sure the blocking's called and set.
Again, the full house. Again, Hughes, and Hughes is cut down short of the goal line. Nice play, Nico Lonzinski.
Lonzinski and Billy Hansen both on that far side, pressing it in, containing it. They're able to stop him short.
2nd down and goal. Mid-Valley at the Berwick 1-yard line.
You know, sometimes you worry too much about people keying on your great running back that you vary it a little too much. Me, I'd be feeding Lesher.
You'd like to think he can get a yard.
Yeah.
That's what they need. 2nd down. Again, the full house. Vinoski
Parry
gives straight ahead to Caleb Parry. He gets in for the touchdown. And they are an extra point away from tying this one.
Full house backfield, but motion started off to the left. He took a little juke step, got it, and then came back to the center. And he's a powerful individual, Jim. We mentioned his shocking type of tackles he's been making. He had that beautiful 18-yard run earlier in this drive where he lost his shoe. Tough to stop, powerful runner.
7-play, 44-yard drive. Now the extra point attempt from Dylan Henderson to try to tie it. Nick Pinto does the holding, and Connor Bartlett the snapping for the Spartans. Snap placement, kick is partially blocked, but still goes through. Time on the field. 2:32 remaining in the first half. Berwick 7, Mid-Valley 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
7-7 with 2:32 remaining in the first half. The Spartans go 7 plays, 44 yards. Caleb Perry in from the 1-yard line. Then the extra point by Henderson to tie it. Southern Columbia leading Loyalsock 14-0 in the first as head coach Jim Roth looks for career win number 500. Lackawanna Trail locked in a scoreless tie with Western Wayne in the second. Berwick will be traveling to Lackawanna Trail next Friday. They're locked in a 7-7 tie here as the kick is a high pooch kick, and Berwick has to fall in at the 30-yard line.
It bounced high. It got past the first level, past the second level before anyone can get to it. And I think very smartly you're seeing Gavin Galusha fall on it, and then you're seeing Braden Schaefer falling on top of him to protect him.
So here's the situation. Score tied at 7, 2:29 to go in the half. Berwick has their full complement of timeouts remaining as they move from our right to our left in this second quarter. They said Billy Hansen wide to the right and a slot to the left.
Only 2 attempted passes, none completed.
Lisnock remains there at the quarterback controls, and again, Berwick with the penalty.
I didn't see the movement. I didn't see the flag. I heard the whistle, but it is 5 yards against Berwick, Jim. The umpire must have seen it. He threw it, marching them back.
And it's never good, but especially on a night when you're really struggling to move the football.
No, and you might choose to go conservative. Take this in 7-7 at halftime. Take as much off that clock as you possibly can. You might decide, hey, we're going to go with running plays now to keep that clock moving. Mid-Valley's already used 2 of their timeouts.
Center Gavin Jones over the football. 1st and 15. In motion is Wilkerson. Lisnock back to throw. The ball is tipped in the air and then caught by Howie for a gain of about 1 yard, but a very, very dangerous play. As the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, it fluttered to Julian Howie, who made the grab. They mark it at the 27, so a pickup of 2.
He was smart to high point the ball, Jim. You saw it was bouncing. He had the best position, like a good basketball player. Get in there, take it at the high point. Even though you know you're not going to get any yardage, you're preventing any type of interception.
2nd and 13. Berwick back at their 27. Empty backfield for Lisnock. Back to throw. Fires a quick out. Has a man. The completion for no gain on the play. So the quick out to Gavin Galusha. And nothing doing there. So 3rd and long Bulldogs.
Yeah, sideways pass. Might have even been backward. You might have to rule it as a run. But I think we'll put it as a pass since it was overhand. But again, he's not able to break the tackles. It's good, strong tackling, good defensive coverage on the part of Mid-Valley on the first two plays.
Clock running, 1:18 to go in the half. See how the Bulldogs play it.
I'd run
third down. Mid-Valley with one timeout remaining. Wisnock, play action, throws over the middle, and Billy Hansen drops the football. And boy, he would have had the first down, and who knows how much more, because he can run. And that is a huge turnaround, because now the clock is stopped, and Mid-Valley's going to get a shot at the football.
He was wide on the left, and the corner was playing off him. The safeties are rather deep in their shell coverage, and he ran a slant in. Ball delivered on the money, about waist high. He had it, and he might have just looked, where's the open field, because there's a lot of open field in front of him. Easily had the first down, but he needed to look that ball all the way in.
Sean Bankus back to do the punting. Good snap by Aiden George. Kick is away. Very, very short. And very, very high. And takes a Mid-Valley roll. And Berwick downs it at their 40-yard line. So a great opportunity. They have a timeout left. They have 59 seconds to go in the half. And they have it at the Berwick 40-yard line. Again, they will get the football to start the second half. So right now, Berwick needs a stop.
They really do, and yet Mid-Valley's had the momentum, Jim, from scoring the offensive touchdown, driving it down the field and inside the red zone, making a big defensive stop. Momentum's on their side, 40 yards to go, and they have enough clock. They only have one timeout, though.
13 yards on that punt. 1st and 10 for the Spartans at their 40. Connor Hughes wide right. Connor Bartlett wide left. Janoski out of the gun. Rolls right. Big pass rush. He just throws it into the turf.
Yeah, screen pass being set up, Jim, and Berwick had people in the area. He's rolling to his right as a left-handed quarterback. He's going to look to dump that out to a screen man. Is there a late flag, Jim?
Could it be grounding?
I think it could if it's only linemen in the area. If his running back never got out there, if it was a broken play, it could be grounding.
They're going to talk about it.
The flag came late, so it's not a roughing the passer. It's not a hold. Grounding would be the possibility. The officials are gathering. Did anyone see an eligible receiver in the area? He threw it toward the ground. Now, you can do that if there's someone in the area. Will they pick up the flag and wave it away, or will it be grounding? Flags up and waved off. There was a receiver in the area, even though it was thrown intentionally to not be completed. So long as there's a receiver in the area, there will be no grounding.
56 seconds remaining opening half. Score tied at 7. Mid-Valley. 2nd down and 10 at the Berwick 40-yard line.
Relatively conservative play call.
Janoski back to throw, setting up the inside screen. It is tipped and nearly intercepted.
Oh, boy.
Tipped well behind the line of scrimmage, and then a diving attempt at the interception.
J.J. Leonard was the man diving, Jim, and he had it in his hands. It was a question of how long did he control it. He was diving. He was on the ground. His wrists were off the ground. The ball didn't get knocked out. But I think in trying to regroup and pull it to himself, he pushed the ball away.
3rd down and 10. Mid-Valley at the Berwick 40-yard line. Slot to the right side. Berwick showing blitz. Janoski has the snap, gives the ball to Lesher. Lots of running room. Inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 15, down the sideline for a touchdown. Jacob Lesher goes 40 yards on a 3rd and 10, and Mid-Valley has their first lead.
Bad angles of pursuit. He hit the C-gap on the left side, so there was some initial contain, but he went through the C-gap inside that defensive end. And then down in the secondary, there were people in the area, but they just didn't angle it properly. They let him get on by, let him get to the sideline, and let him use his speed to outrun them. Should have been stopped.
Extra point attempt from Dylan Henderson. Pinto does the holding. Snap, placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout in the field. 44 seconds to go. Opening half. Mid-Valley 14 and Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
The all-new Willows Golf Course and Events venue in Berwick is making strides this fall. They'll be taking reservations at the end of the year for any of the 3 fully renovated event rooms with their own new delectable menu options, bar offerings, and comfortable room accommodations. Check out their Facebook page for updates and information on how to book your next corporate event or special day at the Willows Golf Course and Event venue in Berwick. The Willows is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
W234BH West Hazelton at 94.7, WVWX at W242CY Berwick at 96.3, W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3, and W288CF Danville at 105.5. Your home for Berwick Bulldogs football is Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains media station. WHLM Bloomsburg.
Jacob Lesher has his 6th touchdown of this young season. From 40 yards out, the first third down conversion by Mid-Valley in this game. 40-yard run gives them a 14-7 lead as the short kick fielded by one of the up men for Berwick, and they'll get up to the 39-yard line. Bulldogs still with all their timeouts remaining, but just 39 ticks on the clock.
Braden Sheffer comes running up and has to catch it off to his side. If it gets by him, I think Mid-Valley's going to recover it, Jim. Designed to be a pooch. They didn't want to return. They know there's very little time on the clock, so they're going to give up field position in exchange for the sure tackle, and yet Berwick almost lets it get by them. Good hands by Braden Sheffer to pull it in.
1st and 10. Berwick at their own 39-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ashton Smith back in there, and he's going long. Coming back and making the grab is Ty Wilkerson at the 35. Wilkerson carries a tackler down to the 30-yard line. He comes back on the long pass that comes up short, makes the catch, and Berwick with 26 seconds left in Mid-Valley territory down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Ashton Smith just couldn't reach him, but he's able to see it and come back.
And the next pass quickly out to Wilkerson goes incomplete, stopping the clock with 18 seconds to go. So Berwick finally gets a big play offensively as they get a 41-yard completion to Wilkerson. They have it with 18 seconds to go. Again, they have their full complement of timeouts remaining, and they have it at the Mid-Valley 29-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, including Ty Wilkerson. Ashton Smith out of the gun. Back to throw, looking long, down to the far side, incomplete. Intended for Julian Howie, and covered well down around the 1-yard line.
Yeah, smothering coverage by Wyatt Youngblood. In fact, so smothering, I thought you might have called interference. I think the thing is he wasn't going to be able to catch up to the ball and make the play, so the official decided, let's let that one go.
13 seconds remaining in this half. So Smith with the strong arm comes in there to quarterback this possession. But is there time? Julian Howie wide to the left. Here comes Wilkerson in motion to the left, and flags down. Is there a timeout or a penalty?
False start. I thought Berwick might have had 2 people in motion, Jim. The quarterback gave that little leg kick indicating get me the ball, and a man's in motion, and someone else may have still been not set for the full count.
So it is a 3rd and 15 to go for the Bulldogs. 12 seconds remaining in the half.
I think you throw underneath, hope to catch and run with it. We'll see what they do.
Wilkerson in motion to the left, rolling that way is Smith, but he's throwing the other way. Long downfield, one-on-one coverage. A catch is made. No, they're saying incomplete.
Boy, Billy Hansen did catch it. Wyatt Youngblood down inside of him really allowed for the catch. He's tight-roping the sideline. It's near the pylon, about the 2-yard line. He only needs to get 1 foot down in bounds with possession. He might not have had full possession. I thought he was close enough to the sideline that they'd award the catch, but waved away.
5 seconds remaining in the half. Berwick at the Mid-Valley 35-yard line. 4th down call coming. Slot to either side. Smith has the snap. Back to throw. Looking long down the far side. Into traffic. Over the shoulder attempt. Incomplete. And that will end the first half of play with the score. Mid-Valley 14 and Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
It's the Mazda Find Out event going on now at W&L Mazda.
Leave more in your wallet when you get in a 2024 Mazda CX-5 at W&L, offering financing as low as 2.9%.
Find out about the 8-passenger Mazda CX-90 with financing as low as 1.9% for 72 months.
Explore beyond the pavement in a Mazda CX-50, offering 1.9% financing for 72 months.
See us off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing available to well-qualified applicants only. Offer cannot be combined with any other discounts or incentives other than loyalty or military offers. Offer ends 9/3/24. See W&L Mazda for complete offer details.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the 2 big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, the roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas, now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
It's time for the Berwick Bulldogs halftime show on Pop Radio. Brought to you by W&L Subaru, Nissan, and Mazda. Discover the W&L difference today.
Halftime from Spartan Stadium in Troop. First meeting ever between the Spartans of Mid-Valley and the Bulldogs of Berwick. And Mid-Valley leading this one 14-7. Mid-Valley appeared to have something going offensively when they reached the Berwick 33-yard line, facing a 2nd down and 4. They called a timeout to talk about what they wanted to do. Certainly what they didn't want to do is throw a pass, junior Brett Janoski, right into the breadbasket of Berwick's Ty Wilkerson. And he used that elite speed of his to go down the left sideline, 71 yards for a touchdown. Caleb Bell kicked the extra point. That came with 18 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Berwick led by a score of 7-0 in the second quarter. Mid-Valley got even with a 7-play, 44-yard drive, capped on a 1-yard touchdown run by Caleb Parry. He had the biggest play along the way, an 18-yard run. Dylan Henderson kicked the extra point, and we were tied at 7. Big play in that second quarter. Berwick backed up to their own 1-yard line, inserted a good running quarterback, Jake Lisnock, in. Ashton Smith had quarterbacked up to then. And Berwick got it to the 9-yard line, where they faced a 3rd down and 1. But then there appeared to be a busted play. The handoff never came. Lisnock took a loss back to the 4-yard line. And after a punt, Mid-Valley was in business at the Berwick 40-yard line. Bulldogs held on the first 2 plays, but on a 3rd down and 10, Mid-Valley converted their first 3rd down of the game as Jacob Lesher went off the left side, 40 yards for the touchdown. Dylan Henderson kicked the extra point, and Mid-Valley led 14-7. Berwick got Ashton Smith back into the game. He was able to connect on the Bulldogs' biggest offensive play of the half, a 41-yard completion to Ty Wilkerson into Mid-Valley territory, but the Bulldogs stymied after that, and they go in at the break trailing. It is Mid-Valley 14 and Berwick 7. Stay with us at the half. We'll check scores with Ashlyn Walshaw. We'll check stats with Andy Lickney. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at insurebloomsburg.com.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Halftime from Spartan Stadium in Troop. The Berwick High School marching band under the direction of Anthony McDonald is entertaining here at the half, with Mid-Valley leading Berwick by a score of 14-7. Berwick football is powered by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute and the region's only nationally ranked hospital for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. Our team is ranked among the top 20 in the nation and is your unrivaled partner for orthopedic care. Bulldogs trail by 7 at the break. Boy, that opening game last week, the Mid-Valley defense was terrific. They held Pittston area to just 96 total yards. And with the exception of one long pass to Ty Wilkerson, they've done the job on the Bulldogs this opening half, haven't they, Andy?
Yeah, I have Berwick with 50 yards, and as you mentioned, 41 of the 50 came on the Ty Wilkerson comeback catch. So Berwick's offense just can't get it going. They haven't tried to run all that often. Gavin Galusha had 72 yards in the opener on 22 carries. That's just 3 carries in the first half for a total of 5 yards. Billy Hansen tried the jet sweep, the end around. They caught him for a 2-yard gain on that. And Jake Lisnock powering himself out from the goal, got a 4-yard gain and then a 1-yard gain after that. So he's limited. Ashton Smith I have as -4. So it looks like I did my math wrong. They would have 6 carries for 4 yards here in the first half rushing. Passing, 3 completes in 10 attempts for 42 yards. Jake Lisnock completed 2 of 3. Ashton Smith just a 1 completion in 7 attempts. That 1 completion, though, was the Ty Wilkerson bomb, 41 yards in the last minute. He's heading downfield deep with one-on-one coverage. He saw the ball underthrown, put on the brakes, came back, and made a 41-yard reception. Other than that, Julian Howe caught one that had been tipped, got 2 yards past the line of scrimmage on that as he had to fight to avoid the interception. And Gavin Galush caught one for no yards behind the line of scrimmage and just got back to the line of scrimmage there. 4 yards in the rushing game, 42 yards in the passing game. Let's change that net to just 46 yards in all for Berwick here at halftime. We mentioned they'd have to stop Jacob Lesher, a tremendous running back who had just about 1,500 yards last year. Here in this game at halftime, 14 carries, 117 yards. He's a stud, tough to bring down. You think you have him, and he keeps the legs chugging. Do you think you have him, and he slides away from you, slippery that? You think you have him, and people don't make the tackles. 14 carries, 117 yards for Jacob Lesher. Berwick really needs to tighten up its tackling to contain him and get themselves back in the ball. Back in at the goal line. That Connor Hughes, 2 carries for 5 yards, and the quarterback Brett Janoski, 1 for just 1 yard. 20 rushes in all, 140 yards on the ground. 117 of those 140 coming from Jacob Lesher. Passing, they're just of 8 yards. Jacob Lesher has the other catch, just a 4-yarder there. So limited passing success, 3 of 8. An interception that was returned for a touchdown, and just 12 yards in the air. The 100. Some points on the board, needing to find some way of getting a little bit more off.
Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
Are you on the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find it, whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page and go Dogs.
Planning your next big event, weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number 1 when you have to go number 2.
Save on appliances during the Labor Day savings event going on now through September 11th at Flick Brothers Electric. Enjoy great savings on select appliances throughout the store. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwaves, stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for 70 years. Call 570-784-3444.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Spartan Stadium in Troop. Halftime with Berwick trailing Mid-Valley by a score of 14-7. For an update on other high school football scores as we kick off weekend number 2 of the 2024 season, here's Ashlyn Walshaw.
Thanks, Jim. As I look down my list here, Western Wayne leads Lackawanna Trail 14-0 at the half. Williamsport leads Hazleton area 10-6 in the second. Tunkhannock leads Holy Redeemer 29-0 in the second. Dallas leads Wyoming area, they're tied 21-21 in the second. And that's Dallas leads Wyoming area. Riverside leads Hanover area 31-0 in the second. Carbondale leads Nanacoke 14-0 at half. Shamokin leads Lake Lehman 27-0 at half. Twin Valley leads Selinsgrove 20-10 in the second. Southern Columbia leads Loyalsock 21-0 at the second. Mount Carmel leads Central Columbia 22-7 at the second. Danville leads Mifflinburg 35-0 in the second. Jersey Shore leads Delaware Valley 14-10 in the fourth. Valley View leads Crestwood 14-0 at half. North Pocono leads Pittston area 6-0 at half. Stroudsburg leads Wilkes-Barre area 14-13 in the second. Scranton leads Wyoming Valley West 29-0 in the second. Morrisville leads Columbia Montour Votech 33-6 in the second. Montoursville leads Milton 6-0 at half. Lewisburg leads Shikellamy 6-0 at half. And Warrior Run leads Montgomery 20-0 in the second. Back to Spartan Stadium with Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney.
Thank you, Ashlyn. And looking at those scores again, a couple of significance. Obviously, Western Wayne leading Lackawanna Trail. The reason I emphasize that one is that Berwick will be on the road next Friday night to Factoryville to take on the Lions of Lackawanna Trail. Southern Columbia with that 21-0 lead over Loyalsock in the second. The Tigers in their home opener tonight trying to give head coach Jim Roth his 500th career win. No Pennsylvania coach has ever accomplished that. And then Mount Carmel looking for their school's 900th win in their history. No Pennsylvania school has accomplished that except Mount Carmel. They're one of the few in the country that have that amount. They are leading Central Columbia 22-7. Right here it is 14-7. Andy, you don't like to put too much emphasis on one possession, but boy, Berwick has to keep Mid-Valley off the board on Mid-Valley's first possession of this second half, because points just look like they're going to be so tough to come by for the Bulldogs.
You know, and overall, Berwick hasn't played a bad defensive game. You got to limit Jacob Lesher. And boy, you let him get that 40-yard touchdown at the end, and all of a sudden his stats go from a somewhat respectable holding to 82 yards to having 117. So it just, you know, you got to converge on him. You have to gang tackle. And when you have people around him, you can't assume he's down. You got to throw another guy into that pile. You got to put another guy head on in case he slips away. He's a very tough runner. He's very elusive. And I think Berwick needs to tighten up some of that tackling in order to have a chance in this second half. So, yes, you know, if I'm Mid-Valley, I'd be running him a lot more than they are. I think they like to vary the offense, get some other people involved. They like to see Janoski try to throw, but, you know, he's throwing 3 of 8 with an interception that went for a touchdown in Berwick's direction and only 12 yards in the air. The other running backs outside of Caleb Perry really haven't impressed me all that much. I'd be feeding Jacob Lesher if I were them. I see that he gets the ball the majority of the carries and let him carry me to a victory. It hasn't always been the game plan. We'll see how they go in this second half.
So the Bulldogs need a stop to start this second half. And boy, one of the big plays, Andy, of that first half was Berwick's 3rd down and 1 at the 9. They run the ball from the half-yard line up to the 9. They have a 3rd down and 1. It looked to both of us like it was a busted play, ends in a loss. The short punt leads to the short field, and this thing turns around.
Yeah, you can always go back to one play here, one play there, one play here, one play there, and it can change the whole complexion of the game.
Caleb Bell will kick it off. Mid-Valley moving from our left to our right in a second half that is underway. A line drive kick. Lesher at the middle, the 19 to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the midfield. Still on his feet all the way to the Berwick 43-yard line.
Connor Hughes got that and just head up the middle. You kind of take a deep breath that it's not Lesher with the ball. But he ran tough, and while Berwick's getting hands on him, hey, it's not two-hand tag, it's tackle football. You got to bring that man down, and he's running with authority, crosses midfield, and has an excellent return for his team.
1st and 10, Mid-Valley. They have it at the Berwick 44-yard line. Again, we emphasize how important it is for Berwick to keep Mid-Valley off the board. That return will make it a lot tougher. Wide receiver to either side. Brett Janoski at the quarterback controls. He's got two running backs. One is Jacob Lesher off the left side. Lesher will pick up about 3 to the Berwick 41-yard line.
They're going to stretch it a little further, 4.5, Jim. He's just so tough to bring down. He is 6'3". So if you give him 3 and he falls forward, he's got 4.5 yards. Tough runner.
2nd down and 6. Mid-Valley at the Berwick 40. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. First ever meeting between these two schools. Mid-Valley coming off a 7-4 finish a year ago and a great start last week to this season. 2nd down call from the Berwick 40. Janoski out of the gun. The snap goes through his legs. He goes back and covers it way back in the Mid-Valley 43-yard line. Low snap went through the legs of Brett Janoski. The quarterback went back and fell on it, but a huge loss for the Spartans back to their 43.
12 plus to 4 of the previous game. So in chasing that down and sliding on it, they'll lose 16 yards there for the team.
2nd down and 23 now, back at their 43-yard line.
They've hurt themselves. Plays like that or offsides penalties, Jim, you know, as strong as they can look, they've kept themselves in check with some bad plays.
It is 3rd down and 23. Back at their 43. Janoski back to throw. Big pass rush, sets up the middle screen. A man has it, but he loses yardage back to the 39-yard line. Berwick was all over that middle screen to Jacob Lesher.
Yes, they were. They were coming up the middle hard, and I think they sensed it was a screen.
Flag down in the defensive backfield of Berwick.
Now look what happened there on a center screen pass. You could call an interference, I suppose, or a hold, but they're not throwing deep.
The call is a personal foul against Mid-Valley. Do you move them back?
Yes, well, I think it might be the down counts and then the 15 yards after that, Jim. They certainly are moving them back to 15 yards.
Boy, what a turnaround. Mid-Valley had the ball at the Berwick 40. Now facing 4th down, they have it at their 24.
Got a great punter, though, Jim. See what he does here.
High snap, and he shanks it. A rare bad punt by Jake Bondi. We'll see where they mark, but Berwick's going to have terrific field position. Boy, has the start of this second half turned around.
They had a tremendous return going on up the middle, crossed midfield, and then after that, backwards, and more. And then shank a punt by their All-State punter. Berwick really has to feel good about the field position they're going to get and the advantages to their offense here.
That is a 14-yard punt, and the Bulldogs take over at the Mid-Valley 38 with 9:58 to go in the 3rd, and Berwick trailing 14-7.
Bondi last year averaged 38 yards a punt, 7 punts over 40 yards, 4 of them over 50 yards.
Bulldogs come out. Let's see what they have going offensively. We see Ty Wilkerson lines up as the tailback in the eye. Aiden George ahead of him. Smith back to throw, fires a terrible pass, and it's picked off. And a return down the far sideline to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and all the way down to the 16-yard line. Jake Bondi makes up for the shank with the interception. The ball went right to him.
Poor decision, Jim. He felt the pressure. A man was coming unimpeded. He wanted to get rid of it, throw it away. He threw it to what he thought was an empty area, but Bondi was there. He picks it up, and he goes down the sideline. So from Berwick having the big advantage to now Mid-Valley taking momentum back.
And Jake Bondi has to be feeling a little better about this situation. 1st and 10. Spartans at the Berwick 16. They lead 14-7, 9:42 to go in the third. Jacob Lesher is the tailback in the eye. Caleb Parry ahead of him. Call goes to Lesher up the middle. Lesher gets to the 10 and to the 9-yard line.
He's very good. Parry runs into the line, and it just seems like it's all stuffed up. There's nothing within 2 or 3 holes either way of where the fullback dives. But Lesher's able to take it 1 hole wider yet, find the seam, and stretch it for 7.
2nd down and 3, Mid-Valley. Trying to go up 2 touchdowns here in the third. Parry has come out of the game. Lesher is the lone running back. He's in the pistol. And now lines up right behind Janoski. Lesher gets the call up the middle, and he's brought down about the 5-yard line.
Boy, he has the vision, Jim. He gets the ball, he's heading forward, accelerating, hitting full speed, and then a quick jump step to his right where the seam happens to be, and he'll stretch it for about a 4-yard gain when it seemed like nothing was going to be there.
1st and goal, Spartans at the Bulldog 5-yard line. Caleb Parry back in there. He's the fullback in the eye. Janoski under center. Lesher's the tailback. From the 5. Lesher the call off the left side. This time Berwick is on the play, and he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Rocky Romeo blitzing through the A gap, reads it, sees it's going a little bit wide, angles, catches Lesher in the backfield for a no gain or even a loss of a yard.
Yeah, they give him forward progress back to the 5. 2nd down and goal, Mid-Valley.
Yeah, really a nice defensive call by R.J. Hawes and executed perfectly by Romeo.
2nd down and goal. Janoski out of the gun. Lesher to his right. Janoski's going to roll to throw. Fires, has his man, but he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Nick Pinto made the grab, but Alex Estrella, coming from the secondary, makes a sure tackle in the open field.
I just don't understand all the variation, Jim. You have the horse and Jacob Lesher. Give him the ball and let him run. They had a banana bunch trips in tight, almost like all wings to the right side. They rolled toward that. Yes, they complete the pass to Pinto, but Berwick's able to bring him down.
Here is a big call, 3rd down and goal. Mid-Valley at the Berwick 5 with 7 minutes to go in the third. And the Bulldogs trailing by 7. Lesher gets the call off the right side, looks for some running room, and gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Jacob Lesher, 5 yards from the score.
Basically the same formation with this banana bunch trips on the right side, but in tight right off the tight end. They give it to Lesher running in that direction. Things are spread out a little bit because of the formation. And Lesher can find that seam and then plow through any arm tackles that are there.
So Mid-Valley takes advantage of the long interception return by Jake Bondi. And now Dylan Henderson will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Nick Pinto. Snap is there, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout in the field. 6:54 to go in the third. Mid-Valley 21, Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Berwick in a 2-touchdown hole after a 5-yard touchdown run by Jacob Lesher. His second rushing touchdown of this game. He has 7 total touchdowns now, and we have almost a half of the second game of the season. Off to a pretty good start. As a huddle, a short punt, and Berwick muffs it momentarily and then is brought down right at the 40-yard line.
They end up with pretty good hands coming up with that football as number 26, Skylar Neville. It bounced up. They weren't expecting to kick right out of the muddle huddle. They heard the whistle, and instead of lining up and widening, they came right out, kicked the ball, got the good bounce, bounced it past Berwick's first line, and the people behind them had trouble fielding it. They're almost like a knuckleball. Neville able to get his hands on it.
You know, as well as this Mid-Valley defense has played and the speed that Berwick has deep on kick returns, that's good strategy.
Oh, yeah. Why give them the opportunity?
1st and 10. Bulldogs from the 41. The give is to Gavin Galusha, and he gets maybe a yard on the play. Boy, this defense is really, really tough. Last week, Pittston area had 26 rushing yards against this defense.
And at halftime, Berwick had 3, so they're playing even better. Gavin Galusha, who had 22 carries last week, that's just his 4th carry of the game.
2nd and 9, Bulldogs at their 42. Wide receiver to either side. They're showing blitz. Smith has the snap, fires it into traffic, almost another interception.
Yeah, and almost another interception by Jacob Lesher. He read the slant in. They ran about 5 yards and then broke it toward the post, and he wanted to throw it and hit the timing, assuming it would be there. Instead, Jacob Lesher read it, had the inside position, and just couldn't hold on.
Lesher last week against Pittston area, 2 interceptions, both returned 4 touchdowns. So he's no slouch on this side of the football as well. Here's a 3rd and 9. Berwick from their own 42-yard line. And the Bulldogs will use a timeout. 6:12 to go in the 3rd. Mid-Valley 21. Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
6:12 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Berwick trailing Mid-Valley 21-7. And the Bulldogs following their timeout, facing a 3rd down and 9. They have it at their own 42. Ty Wilkerson comes in motion, a fake to him. They set up a screen, and it's dropped. It is dropped at the 40-yard line. Boy, they might have had something going there.
Yeah,
Gavin Galusha couldn't handle the screen to the left side.
Quarterback handled the pressure. It came on him, and he kept on backpedaling, did Ashton Smith, and then he lofted it over the outstretched arms of the rushers. Gavin Galusha 5 yards in front with those rushers between. Just doesn't secure it quickly. Bobbles and bobbles out of his hands.
Sean Bankus will punt it away for Berwick. He's standing back at his 31-yard line.
Return people very deep.
Snap is way over his head. And he goes back and tries to pick it up and does so and will get out of it to the 15 and down the sideline to the 20, to the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. Still on his feet. He's got the first down over midfield, down the far sideline, 30, 25, 20, and ridden out of bounds inside the 20. There's a flag down on the play back at the Berwick 33. what a spectacular play by Sean Bankus.
Oh, it was. And eventually we're seeing that it's number 10, Jacob Lesher, who knocks him out of bounds and gets the angle. A horrible snap that he has to chase 12, 15, 20 yards back. Gets it. It looks like he's going to be tackled. He swings away. Then I'm thinking, kick it, get anything you can out of it. Kick it on the run, but he's coming down the left side, and he's a right-footed kicker. I think we're going to see an illegal block around the 30. So what's the situation going to be?
Berwick will have the football, but
able to punt it again, 4th down.
Oh, this is horrible.
Oh,
this is
Jimmy. He ran about 70 yards with the football, and I thought he was going to take it all the way. I saw the block, and I thought a flag would come, but it came a little late. I already think he was following down the field. What a play by Bankus to chase it down, elude 2 or 3 potential tacklers well behind the line of scrimmage.
This may be the longest penalty in the history of football. They're still going. They're still going. Berwick was going to have it at the 10-yard line. Instead, they're going to be punting from their own 19. How about that for a horrible turnaround?
Well, it could have been worse if he was tackled back where the bad snap was, or if they recovered it, Jim. They'd have the ball there. Berwick at least gets to punt it away.
Bankus will try it again back at his 7-yard line. Good snap. Perfect this time. Kick is a low line drive kick. Bounces at the Berwick 45 and will roll dead at the 48-yard line. I would have liked to see Bankus run on that one. How about you?
Oh, boy. You know, it's one of those you keep gasping. Like, oh, it's going to be tackled down there. They're going to have the ball around the 10 or the 15. Then he eludes one, and I'm thinking, try to punt it, try to rugby punt it, but he's running the wrong way. He can't get his right foot to kick it. Then he crosses midfield after eluding 2 or 3 potential tacklers. What an exciting return he had on that. And if not for the illegal block, Berwick would have been really set up well.
1st and 10, Mid-Valley. They have it at the Berwick 47-yard line. 5:24 to go in the 3rd. They're looking to add to a 21-7 lead. Janoski awaits the shotgun snap. He has it. Gives to Wisnowski, tries the left side, and he'll get very little. That's Mason Wisnowski.
His first carry of the game at 27 yards in the opener, Jim.
Yeah, he had a carry earlier. That is his second, but not much doing as they mark it at the 44. Pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7 as we go under 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Quarterback didn't have a good handle on the ball when it came back in the shotgun snap. He bobbled it, and by the time he's handing it off, the timing of the play is thrown off.
3 wide receivers are all at their position. They're not in the huddle, and Mid-Valley calls a timeout. 4:43 to go in the 3rd. 21-7 Mid-Valley. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
4:43 to go, 3rd quarter here at Spartan Stadium. Berwick trailing Mid-Valley 21-7, and Mid-Valley with a chance at more as they have it at the Bulldog 44-yard line with a 2nd down and 7 following their timeout. Wisnowski out of the gun. Gives the ball to Lesher. He's hit. The ball pops free. It's back at midfield, and Berwick has the football.
Berwick had a lineman, had Wisnowski by the waist and spun him to the ground. I thought he was down at that point, but the ball pops out and goes back toward the quarterback. and Berwick does get the recovery. So another turnover in Berwick's favor. They need to capitalize.
4:35 to go in the third. They're marking it at the Bulldog 49-yard line. So the Bulldogs did not create any turnovers in that opener, but a couple here in this game. One, the 71-yard touchdown return of an interception by Ty Wilkerson, and now the recovery at their own 49-yard line. Bulldogs quickly to the line of scrimmage. Slot to the left side. Wilkerson in motion. Fake handoff to him. And Jake Lisnock is in a quarterback. He keeps the ball after the fake. Picks up just a yard to midfield.
Yeah, a little bit of a fake of the Jets sweep. Either that or they missed a handoff like they did last week. Lisnock then takes it up the left side, and he'll gain half a yard.
2nd down and 9. Berwick from midfield. Bulldogs need a score to get back in this one. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Lisnock out of the gun. Dumps a pass out here to Wilkerson. Tries to turn the corner, does so, and gets knocked out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So they'll pick up 5 into Mid-Valley territory and pick up a 3rd down.
We were wondering where that sideways pass was last week, Jim. We knew it was part of the Berwick game plan throughout the season. There it was, made the first man miss, a little push of a block, and he does get a nice gain on that.
3rd down and 5. Billy Hansen splits wide to the right. Julian Howie wide left. Wilkerson in a slot to that side.
Short 5 that a penalty might earn the chains.
Long count, Mid-Valley showing blitz. Lisnock off play action. Hits Billy Hansen over the middle. Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Good hookup. Jake Lisnock on target to Billy Hansen.
Yes, it was. Running that slant-in pattern. He's going to go about 5 yards and then post it like a slant. Catches it in front. Runs into a pile of potential tacklers, but yet kind of gets a little escape in there before Jake Lesher's able to bring him down to the ground.
25 yards. Jake Lisnock to Billy Hansen. 1st and 10 Berwick at the Mid-Valley 20. Slot to the right side. Julian Howie wide left. Wilkerson comes in motion. The pitch to Galusha, looking for some running room. Finally has a little and gets down to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, running hard, working the perimeter, Jim. We mentioned how hard it's going to be to run against these inside linebackers who are so good. So that time, a little bit of a pitch to the outside, and then he breaks it back against the grain to get the 5-yard gain.
2nd down and 5. Berwick at the Mid-Valley 15-yard line. Jake Lisnock sends Wilkerson in motion left to right. Lisnock's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be wrapped up. Boy, great penetration by Mid-Valley.
Yeah, Caleb Perry reads so well or he's calling on the blitz. They like to mix the blitz in. And when he's coming, he doesn't miss, Jim. He's either going to put that shoulder in you and rock you back, or if he gets his grip on you, you're not escaping it. There'll be no gain on the play when it looked like there might be some room to run.
3rd down and 5. Berwick trailing 21-7 with 1:40 to go in the third. Definitely in 4-down territory here. Julian Howie, Ty Wilkerson wide right. Billy Hansen wide left. Lisnock out of the gun. They're showing blitz again. Play action over the middle. He's got his man. Completed down to around the 5-yard line. Quick hitter by Jake Lisnock off the play action, and it's the tight end, Gabe Decker, who makes the grab.
Yeah, a little play action and release the tight end from the left over the middle. We mentioned how effective the linebackers are, Jim, but when they're that effective and that aggressive, they're going to come up on the play action fake, opening up the area behind them. Coach Curry saw that, and he's able to get Gabe Decker behind them for the catch.
11 yards on the reception. 3rd reception of the season for the 9th grade tight end.
Real nice action by Jake Lisnock on that as well, Jim. Good fake and then throwing over the line, standing tall.
1st and goal from the 5. Lisnock under center. Looking to throw to the corner to Hansen, and it's knocked away incomplete. Boy, that's a terrific play. That pass on target to Billy Hansen in the deep corner.
Yeah, it was. Wyatt Youngblood's been involved in a lot of plays deep downfield, and he was there. I thought Hansen was going to turn and maybe be able to catch it, but just an awkwardness in trying to get to that ball. Kind of throwing up like a fade pattern in the end zone, hoping Hansen can make the catch, but a little too much interference down there.
2nd and goal. Berwick at the 5. 43 seconds to go in the third. Lisnock out of the gun. As the snap goes off the right side, gets some yardage, but a flag down. I think this one's going against Berwick.
They had a banana bunch of receivers on the right to extend and widen the right side. One of those tight ends kind of broke his stance. I didn't think there was going to be a flag, but there is one, deservedly so.
So now it'll be 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Kind of take your running game out of the play now, Jim. You kind of have to pass to get this one in. Lisnock has been in there and doing some nice things at quarterback. Gonna have to find a receiver now. They do like that tight end in this area, Gabe Decker. Keep your eye on him.
He is lined up to the right. I formation behind Lisnock. Rocco Romeo is the fullback. Lisnock, play action, back to throw, going to the far side, incomplete.
Oh. He was there, Jim. It was Decker. He released on a quick out, but you're finding Jacob Decker coming from almost a safety or linebacker position inside to run that down before the ball can float on out to Decker.
Jake Lesher with the play. 3rd down and goal. Berwick at the 10. Bulldogs trailing by 14. 19 seconds to go here in the third.
Was the call I'd have made. Now, which receiver do you want to try to feature, Jim? Who can you break open in the end zone?
Hansen is wide left. Lisnock is looking his way. The fade to the corner, incomplete.
Oh.
Boy, Billy Hansen comes up. He wanted a flag. He does not get it.
He deserved it.
Does not get it.
Yeah, it ends up that Youngblood just ran through him while the ball is in the air. His back is to the play. The official right on it, but he's not going to throw that flag. Should have been an interference, and it should have been a new set of downs for Berwick.
So now desperation time for the Bulldogs. 4th down and goal from the 10-yard line. Lisnock tried to the sideline, got the play. 15 seconds remaining in the third. Hansen is wide right. Wilkerson is a slot to that side. Julian Howie is wide left. Watch for Mid-Valley to come with the blitz, and they do. Lisnock back to throw, fires, incomplete. Incomplete. Berwick's threat goes awry. They, at one point, had a 1st and goal at the 5. They give it up on downs at the 10.
They wanted it Billy Hansen, the widest receiver, slanting on into the end zone. But Lesher just took up position to take the slant away. Hansen had to run through him to try to get to the ball, and you just can't do that.
So Mid-Valley takes over at their own 10-yard line. Just 11 seconds to go here in the third. They lead Berwick by a score of 21-7. Yanoski under center. Lesher is the lone running back. Deep behind him. Jacob Lesher gets the call off the right side. Has some good running room. Out to the 18-yard line on the final play of this third quarter. With the score, Mid-Valley 21, Berwick 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
3 quarters in the books here at Spartan Stadium. In Troop, Mid-Valley ahead of Berwick 21-7. Boy, late that third quarter, Berwick had a great opportunity to get back in this game. They had a nice drive going. They had a first and goal at the 5-yard line. After incompletion, they had a penalty back to the 10 and could never get any closer than that. And now the Bulldog defense in desperation mode. They have to contain this Mid-Valley team who has the football, moving from our right to our left in this final period. They have it at their 18-yard line in a 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, but they have Jacob Lesher, Jim. They just handed him the ball, aimed him toward the C gap. Jake Lisnock at defensive end contained it, but eventually you got to squeeze that down even more. The tackle or the linebacker's got to come from the inside and help you out a little bit more.
2nd down call coming. Pistol formation. Berwick coming on a run blitz. The quarterback had a bad snap and he went down on a knee to get it, so the ball is dead there back at the 13-yard line.
They've struggled with their snaps, and I often wonder, why do teams insist on using shotgun? It just bothers me. He's bobbled a few.
There's an injury on the play. It looks like a cramp on the part of a Mid-Valley player on the far side. I am not a doctor or pretend to be on the radio, so
yeah.
But it sure looks that way.
On the radio.
It looks that way.
You can usually tell by the way that they're working the cramp. They're pulling his toe back and stretching him up. It's a Berwick player on the 20-yard line, just about out of bounds, but not quite. They'll pull that leg up, push the toe back, and work that cramp out while both teams do get some water.
Southern Columbia leading Little Sock 27-0.
Trivia question, Jim. I mean, it'll be the 500th win for the guy still riding my coattails, Jimmy Roth. What coach of Southern Columbia had the 2nd most wins of all time? Not near the 500.
I'll say because of the person that's asking the question, Andy Lickney.
How about to be number 2 at like, did I have 27 wins? I don't even know if I had that. I think it was like 27 or 25 wins to Jimmy Roth's 500.
Yeah, he's closing in on that.
What a number.
Yeah.
What a number.
It is.
Speaking of Shenandoah, Jim, how would the Shenandoah people pronounce the name of this town?
Who is speaking of Shenandoah?
Shenandoah. I don't. You know, it's T-H-R-O-O-P. We'd say, because we know our phonics.
Throop.
You know, we don't be saying this and that and these and those. We would pronounce the T-H, but no. It's Troop. We're in Troop, founded by Benjamin Troop in 1882, I believe. Part of the coal and railroad industry coming on through this area.
Well, you did your research.
I do. I do.
Is there any way this injury is more serious than we thought?
You know, I don't think when you're stretching it out, Jim, I like the soccer guys that put those type of injuries on a little litter and move them out.
It is a Mid-Valley player.
I saw the white helmet. It's the punter, Jim. Going to be 89, Jake Bondi coming on off. Punter and secondary extraordinaire interceptor.
So this is a big play. 3rd down and 7. If Berwick can get a stop, someone other than Jake Bondi will be doing the punting.
And I don't think Lesher's going to get the carry here. It's just this team likes to vary that offense. And even though you need about 8 yards, I don't think they hand it to Lesher just by the tendencies I've seen. I think Janoski's going to throw, and he just hasn't been that successful. 3 of 8 at half and just 1 complete here in the 2nd half.
Well, Lesher is the running back. He's standing back at the 6-yard line. Here's a 3rd and 8. Berwick showing blitz. Janoski long count. There was movement. Is there a flag? As Lesher gets it, gets the 1st down and then some. And he's on his feet out to the 40-yard line. Is there a flag? There certainly should have been.
They're walking up. No one's picking one up from way back 30 yards ago. I thought I saw the movement too, Jim, but the Hanky stayed in the pocket.
Wow.
And Lesher.
That is a huge non-call. 28 yards on the carry.
Yeah, 143 is what he had, plus those 28. I'm trying to do that math in my head. Make it 171 on the game on 22 carries.
He is the lone running back, as Janoski has a banana bunch of receivers just to his right. Lesher gets it again. He's going to sweep the right side. Looking for surrounding room, cuts it in, runs into Rocco Romeo and friends after he picks up about 3 on the play.
And a late flag on the tackle, Jim. I'm not sure if there was a late block or a face mask. We'll have to see as they unpile that. You know, there's been a few non-calls that we've seen, Jim. You mentioned the procedure down here where Berwick could have gotten the ball back without their punter. And I thought there was an obvious interference on the pass to Billy Hansen in the end zone that should have set Berwick up, first and goal with the, the new set of downs. They're going to move Mid-Valley back now.
Back to the 32-yard line. And it will be a 1st and 20.
Did they ever signal the penalty?
I did not see it.
I don't think they signaled it. They just marched it back from the point of the tackle. And they're not going to tell us what it is.
So it is 1st and long for Mid-Valley. Spartans at their 31. Janoski will operate out of the gun. Berwick showing blitz. Call off the right side. Lots of running room down the far side. Knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
You just got to aggressively fight through people and tackle that guy. Yeah, they do some nice blocking, but that's a sweeping action. There's 3 Berwick people in the area, only 1 blocker. Get to him, knock him out of bounds, or knock him to the ground.
18 yards on that carry. 1st and 10 for the Spartans at midfield.
So that gives him 189 on the game.
Lackawanna trail back in the game, trailing Western Wayne 14-7. Again, we're giving that score because Bulldogs will be on the road next Friday night at Lackawanna Trail.
Mid-Valley had shied away from the shotgun for a few plays, but they dropped it. Now they're back to it.
And here comes Lesher around the left side to the Berwick 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, and all the way down to the 14-yard line.
He had 189, and that's one of the longest runs of the game, Jim. Now, Berwick, I don't know if the conditioning's off, but they're not containing sweeping actions. They seem to have people in the area, but they're not getting to Lesher.
Lesher went down on both knees, disgusted about something, and now we know it's a call against Mid-Valley.
Sweeping action didn't seem to be helped by any type of hold or clip, but he did get the corner rather easily. In fact, in my mind, too easily. They're going to mark it from the point of the tackle and only about 10 yards, Jim, so it's still the majority of the run.
So they will pick up 25 on that play altogether.
So give him 214 yards now on the game. And those were among the easiest.
Now we have a Berwick player down. Again, this looks like a cramped situation. 10:01 remaining in this game. And Mid-Valley leading Berwick by a score of 21-7.
I have no more Throop trivia for you, Jimmy. Sorry.
Well, a couple of big milestones tonight. We talked about Jim Roth and his 500th, and Mount Carmel had a pretty convincing lead. Columbia last I checked, and Mount Carmel looking for win number 900 in school history, which is just incredible.
It really is. And how many at that Silver Bowl, Jim? Sort of an iconic stadium within the area. Still, last time I was up in the press box, it felt it was from back in the 1920s. Beautiful stadium, though.
So the injured player, I'm not sure we saw who that was on the far side, but he is okay. And Mid-Valley has a 1st and 10 at the Berwick 25-yard line.
Ty Wilkerson was sitting down, stretching on the sideline, Jim, so it may be him.
He had some issues last week with the cramping.
And you miss him at safety when you have a guy like Lesher breaking free. He's the guy who needs to angle up and make the tackles if everyone else up front is stopped.
Lesher behind the quarterback in the pistol. Berwick showing blitz. Janoski gives it to Lesher up the middle, and he'll get to about the 23-yard line, picks up a couple.
Berwick was blitzing up in that area, and somehow they ran past Lesher, who cut inside the blitzing man. We'll gain about 2 there, give him 216 on the game now.
Mount Carmel leading Central Columbia 22-10 now in that second half. Southern Columbia pulling away over Loyalsock 41-0 in the third. Here it's 21-7 Mid-Valley. And they have a chance for more as they have a 2nd down and 8 at the Berwick 23 as they move from our right to our left in this final period. And they are a little confused as to where they're lining up, and they call a timeout. 8:35 to go. 21-7 Mid-Valley. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you.
Your home for Berwick Bulldogs football is Pop Radio, a Southern Mountains media station. WHLM, Bloomsburg.
8:35 remaining in the game. Mid-Valley leading Berwick 21-7, and the Spartans with a chance for more. They face a 2nd down and 8 at the Bulldog 23-yard line following their timeout. Running back to either side of Janoski, and now Jacob Lesher moves to the left, and a flag down the play.
Yeah, movement in there. Mid-Valley, you know, for the dominance they're showing with Lesher, they've had a lot of sloppy play with flags on, you know, penalties where there's movement, with bad snaps to the quarterback and shotgun. And they've struggled with some of the basics, and they need to tighten that up. You know, if they have championship aspirations. It's just not looking as clean as it should.
There's a 2nd down and 13 after the penalty. Spartans at the Berwick 28. The call goes to Lesher off the left side. Breaks a tackle, and another inside the 15, inside the 10, into the end zone for a touchdown. Jacob Lesher, 28 yards for the score.
Yeah, Berwick just needs to tackle, Jim. They had a man at the line of scrimmage, like 1 yard in, a linebacker type. Had him by the arm and the shoulder, and you can't give up. You can't stop that. You got to drag him down. Yes, he's a tough runner. Yes, he can be elusive, but he's not superhuman. You got to complete your tackles. He slid by a couple, and he's just earning himself a tremendous statistical game.
Henderson will attempt the extra point. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 8:28 to go. Mid-Valley 33 and Berwick 7. You're listening to Berwick football on Pop Radio.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mid-Valley with a 9-play, 90-yard touchdown drive. Jacob Lesher had a 28-yard run to get them away from their own goal line when they had deep in their own territory, and then a 28-yard run to finish it off, and the lead is 28-7. Mid-Valley, 8:28 to go in the game.
26 carries, 244 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns for Jacob Lesher.
Another pooch kick. Skylar Neville gets the high hop and takes it to the 47-yard line before he is brought down. And that's where Berwick will put it in play.
Need to establish something, Jim, at least run some time off the clock. You don't want to let Mid-Valley get it again. They've been running too easily on Berwick, who looks a little tired, a little downtrodden, a little heartbroken. Played a tough first half, and they let it get away from them here in the second half.
I formation. Caleb May is the tailback in the I. Rocco Romeo, the fullback, ahead of him. Ashton Smith is the quarterback, gives it to May. There's an opening for him, and he gets inside the 45-yard line of Mid-Valley.
And brought down in the safety area by Connor Hughes. Little dancing when he got it to find the hole. Little jump step, and then up the middle, ran tough. He's going to get 9 yards on that.
Second carry of the season. Had 11 yards on a carry last week against Lake Lehman. Caleb May, terrific speed. Slot to the right side. Ashton Smith out of the gun. Pump fake, looking long into traffic, and it's incomplete. Julian Howie, the intended receiver for the Bulldogs, but 2 defenders in the area.
Yeah, they're able to back off, Jim. They're playing the run rather stout with their front 7 or 8. The shell defense, they're not going to give any ground and let anyone behind them. Berwick has speed receivers, but if you're in the corners and you're 10, 12 yards off and backpedaling from the get-go, not going to get beat deep.
3rd down and 1. The give is to Caleb May, trying to get outside left, and he won't get the first down. Boy, that's terrific defense.
Yes, it is. There are about 4 people, including Gavin Rapooch. He was able to get in there, get the helmet on him, and prevent that first down.
Loss of a yard, back to the 45. So it is 4th down and a short 3 for Berwick from the Mid-Valley 45-yard line.
Yeah, looks even shorter than that. Maybe a quarterback run, Jim.
Smith under center. Toss, sweep to Ty Wilkerson. Tries the right side, nothing there. Takes it inside, and I don't think he got it.
No, I think he's going to be out of length of the football shy when they spot this.
So last week, Mid-Valley's defense did not allow Pittston area to score a single point. Tonight, Berwick's 7 points have come on an interception return, so they haven't given up an offensive score yet. There's 7 minutes to go in this one. They take over the football, leading 28-7.
No, they got good people, Jim. They're stout up front in their front 4. We mentioned Rapooch and Caleb Parry impressed me throughout this game at the inside linebackers. You take the shell deep with Manson and Youngblood, who we've seen very visibly covering people. And Jacob Lesher, of course, out there in the secondary and coverage. It's a pretty good D.
From the 44-yard line, flags, whistles.
Stoppage.
No flags. Berwick will use a timeout. 7 minutes remaining. 28-7 Mid-Valley. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Exactly 7 minutes remaining in this one. Mid-Valley leading Berwick 28-7. And they have the football first down at their 44-yard line. Adam Pezanowski, a 5'10", 165-pound sophomore, is in at the quarterback controls for the Spartans. And he gives to the running back, will lose yardage. That's Mason Pezanowski, his 3rd carry of the game. Berwick is all over it for a loss on first down. So Mid-Valley's gone to some subs here with that 28-7 lead and the clock running, 6:43 to go.
Yeah, big hit in there by Jake Lisnock, coming in hard from his defensive end position to meet Wisniewski in the backfield.
Lisnock at one defensive end, Skylar Neville at the other for the Bulldogs as Mid-Valley faces second down and 14 back at their 40-yard line. Slot to the right side. Wisniewski gives to Wisniewski again, and he gets some yardage out close to the 45.
Yeah, about 5 yards as he breaks off the right side. Berwick really had a hole they need to shut down in there, but eventually the linebackers get over it, needing 14 yards. They only get 4.5 or 5 there.
Berwick will get Shiloh Escobar in at a linebacker spot, giving Rocco Romeo a breather. Here's a 3rd down and 10. Let's see if they let the sophomore quarterback who's just come on go to the air with 5:35 remaining. Wisniewski awaits the shotgun snap. Has it? No, he's going to hand it.
There's 70 trading time.
That had to leave the game earlier.
Looks like 87. Richard Lupshow punting.
So Berwick's going to get it back. Perhaps one more opportunity for the Bulldogs offense to get on the board here tonight. Line drive kick.
Backing, doing a nice job getting downfield, making the tackle.
So Bulldogs would like to get something going. It's been an offensive struggle in the early going. You recall last week, to the right of Ashton Smith, who operates out of the gun with a wide.
Inside of blockers who were coming his way from the line of scrimmage. Again, losing focus. Need to catch that ball, get the possession, tuck it in, and then finish the run. He seemed to have the eyes up looking what was going to open, and he lost control of the football.
Yeah, and he is capable of big plays. He's got the speed. Got to catch it first. Second down and 10. Berwick at their 33. 3 receivers to the right. Wilkerson, May, Hanson. Mid-Valley showing blitz. Smith rolls right, stops, plants the feet, gets the pass away to Wilkerson, and he is brought down right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they want that short pass, hope he can catch it and run, but he had to go high, and that slows your momentum. You'd ideally like to catch that short one either at the standstill and be able to break, or catch it on the run and go. Instead, time for the secondary to come up and limit the gain.
And it's actually just a yard to the 34-yard line. Pesanowski made that stop. He's made some tackles. We've seen him at the quarterback spot. Here we go, 3rd and 9, Berwick. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Showing blitz. Smith back to throw. Throwing long, intended for Wilkerson, and turn him around. The 40-yard line goes incomplete.
Yeah, coverage with him. Jaden Manson running with him all the way. Safeties and corners breaking while the ball's in the air. No opportunity for the catch.
Mid-Valley's on the road next Friday night, playing at Old Forge. The Bulldogs will be at Factoryville to take on Lackawanna Trail Lackawanna Trail, a Class A school, but a very, very good football program. In fact, last year they made it to the state semifinals. Steve Jervis, former Tunkhannock coach, done a great job at Lackawanna Trail. In fact, he took them to the state finals back in 2018. There's the punt by Banks. Very good punt, very high. Fair catch called for Mid-Valley back at their 29-yard line. So maybe their last possession of this game. They lead Berwick 28-7, 3 minutes and 28 seconds remaining.
Again, looking at the talent, I want to emphasize the great game Jacob Lesher has. Looking at 244 yards on 26 carries. 3 touchdowns in among those runs. Very impressive athlete. Hard to bring down, good vision.
You know, I think if you had to put one adjective on him, it's fluid. Just has that fluid motion. He's patient, lets the play come to him. He is just a terrific high school football player. Mid-Valley from their 29. Handoff off the right side. That's Benoski. And he will pick up
just a yard, I think, Jim. Jake Lisnock playing a nice defensive end. We've seen him the last couple defensive plays, keeping things tight against his second unit from Mid-Valley.
It's Nick DeFinis is in at a corner for Berwick as C.J. Curry's done some substituting. Here's a 2nd down and 9 for Mid-Valley. Wisnowski back in at quarterback spot. The handoff off the right side. And the gain of just a couple to the 33-yard line.
And Berwick coming down with that tackle is number 16, Braden Schaefer. We've seen him some on specialty team play. That time bringing the running back down.
And now he's at a safety position. Brady McCabe, a 9th grader, is at the other safety spot. So players getting some opportunities here for Berwick with the clock winding down. 2:07 remaining in this one. As Wisnowski back in at quarterback, but he's just handing off. And there'll be a loss back to the 31-yard line. Berwick is all over the play. Gavin Galusha in there on the defensive end for Berwick makes the play. And a punt team will come on for the Spartans, as Henderson will do the punting.
One negative for the Spartans, Jim. We saw that injury to Jake Bondi. He had a great interception return in the course of this game. But he's also an outstanding punter. They're not using him to finish this game off.
Sean Backus back to receive for Berwick. Sean made one of the most spectacular plays I've ever seen. It's just a shame that was called back. Just an absolute shame. As Mid-Valley's forced to use a timeout, we'll keep it right here. If you're just joining us, there was a bad snap as Sean Backus was back to punt. He went back inside his 5-yard line. Then the decision was to try to get the kick away, or what do you do with it? He decided to run with the football, and it was a spectacular run all over the field. Got to about the 10-yard line of Mid-Valley, but then it came almost all the way back because of an illegal block.
Yeah, he really didn't have much of a decision. He was thinking he'd like to punt it, but he's running down the left side, and he's a right-footed kicker, so you can't do it. Going the other way, you can rugby-style that ball and at least get rid of it, but he had to force himself to run, and boy, did he run well.
Henderson back to punt. He's standing back at the Mid-Valley 19-yard line. Good snap. Gets the kick away. Low line drive. Field at the 35 is Bankus over midfield to the far side. The 40, the 35, the 30. Nice return by Sean Bankus to the 20-yard line of Mid-Valley.
Well, he's looked good, Jim. He's been a standout for Berwick. whether it's on punt returns after bad snaps or just a punt return when they punt it to you. He returned that well past the original line of scrimmage, showed great speed and elusiveness working his way down there.
He gets to the 21-yard line of Mid-Valley. 53 seconds to go. Berwick, a couple timeouts left. And boy, this offense has struggled so much, would really love to get on the board.
Lisnock will be quarterbacking. Trying to see what other numbers are in there because they had been substituting. Ball's on the left hash.
I formation from the 21. Call off the right side and a gain of maybe a yard on the play.
Number 10 with the run, Jim. That's Connor Roberts for Berwick. So they're not putting the first team in to try to get themselves a cheap touchdown against the number 2s. Their own number 2s will have to do it if they can work their way into the end zone.
2nd and 9. Roberts, a 9th grader, got a yard on the play. From the 20. Lisnock hands off. Brock Sims, I believe, with the call. He goes off the left side, picks up a couple to the 18-yard line with 12 seconds to go. And Berwick will not use a timeout here, and that will end it. The final score, Mid-Valley 28, Berwick 7. Stay tuned through the post-game. We'll have the wrap-up. We'll have the stats with Andy Lickney. We'll have scores with Ashlyn Wolshaw. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family-owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
It's the Mazda Find Out event going on now at W&L Mazda.
Leave more in your wallet when you get in a 2024 Mazda CX-5 at W&L, offering financing as low as 2.9%.
Find out about the 8-passenger Mazda CX-90 with financing as low as 1.9% for 72 months.
Explore beyond the pavement in a Mazda CX-50, offering 1.9% financing for 72 months. months.
See us off Route 11 in Northumberland and online at WNLMazda.com.
Financing available to well-qualified applicants only. Offer cannot be combined with any other discounts or incentives other than loyalty or military offers. Offer ends 9/3/24. See WNL Mazda for complete offer details.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Down below us to our right, Mid-Valley gathered around their head coach, Stan Yanoski, celebrating their second win to start the season, beating Berwick here 28-7. There was no score late in the first quarter, and Mid-Valley, following a timeout, had a 2nd and 4 at the Berwick 33-yard line. But following that timeout, quarterback Brett Yanoski threw an ill-advised pass right to Ty Wilkerson, who used his superior speed to go down the far sideline, 71 yards for the touchdown. Caleb Bell kicked the extra point. That came with just 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Berwick had a 7-0 lead. Mid-Valley got even in the second with a 7-play, 44-yard drive, an 18-yard run by Caleb Perry, the longest play on the drive. Touchdown run from 1 yard out, and that added to the lead. Excuse me, it's tied at 7. As the extra point kicked by Dylan. Later in that second quarter, Berwick had a 3rd down and one at their own 9-yard line during the punt by Bonnie in 2nd down. And there appeared to be a broken play. Bulldogs lost yardage. They had to punt. And then the punt was short to the 40-yard line, and that led to a scoring drive of 1 play. Jacob Fletcher on the 3rd and 10. It was the first. Excuse me, I'm having some technical difficulties. That's not blaming on anybody else. Jake Lesher went 40 yards for a touchdown, and that was on a 3rd and 10. That was the first 3rd down conversion for Mid-Valley in the game. But Henderson's extra point made it 14-7. Mid-Valley, that came with just 44 seconds to go in the second quarter. In the third quarter, Jake Bondi intercepted an Ashton Smith pass and raced 50 yards to the Berwick 16-yard line. From there, they took it to the 5, and from there, Jacob Lesher took it to the house. Dylan Henderson with the extra point. 21-7 was the Mid-Valley lead with 6:54 to go in the third quarter. Now, Berwick had a chance to get back in this game. They got a fumble recovery at their own 49. They drove to the 5-yard line of Mid-Valley. Big play, a 25-yard pass completion from Jake Lisnock to Billy Hansen. First and goal at the 5. They ended up, after penalty back at the 10, they gave it up on downs. That was pretty much the game, because in the fourth quarter, with 8:28 to go, Mid-Valley put together a 9-play, 90-yard drive. Jacob Lesher had a 28-yard run along the way, and then a 28-yard run for the touchdown. Henderson with the extra point. That made it 28-7. That would be the final score in this one, as Mid-Valley wins their second in a row to start this season. Again, the final 28-7. We'll check other scores with Ashlyn Walshaw and the stats with Andy Lickney. When we return, you're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Are you on the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find it, whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page and go Dogs.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
The all-new Willows Golf Course and Events venue in Berwick is making strides this fall. They'll be taking reservations at the end of the year for any of the 3 fully renovated event rooms. With their all-new delectable menu options, bar offerings, and comfortable room accommodations. Check out their Facebook page for updates and information on how to book your next corporate event or special day at the Willows Golf Course and Event venue in Berwick. The Willows is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the 2 big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mid-Valley keeps Berwick's offense from scoring a single point in this one. They do that for the 2nd week in a row. They dominate the Bulldogs 28-7. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, Mid-Valley game is advertised, Jim. 255 yards in total offense, and they only gave up 107 to the Berwick offense. The star of the game, Jacob Lesher, we anticipated him being good, 1,500 yards, about that area last year. He finishes this game with 3 touchdowns rushing, 26 carries, 244 yards, and just seemed to get stronger as the game went on. An extreme talent, Jacob Lesher. Also carrying the ball, Caleb Parry, who did some blocking for him and played outstanding linebacker. A touchdown, 2 carries, 19 yards. Joseph Manson, 2 carries for -4. Connor Hughes, 2 carries for 5. Mason Vianoski, he had 6 carries for 4. The team lost 16 on a bad snap back to the quarterback, and Brett Vianoski, that quarterback, he was 2 for -4. In all, 41 rushes, 248 yards. Of the 248, 244 positive yards to Jacob Lesher. Throwing the ball, Vianoski was 5 of 10, 1 interception, and just 7 yards in the air. Connor Hughes caught 2 for a total of 8. Nick Pinto caught 1 for 1. But then Jacob Lesher on the receiving end caught 2 but dropped for -2 yards. So a net of 7 in the passing game, 248 on the ground, 255 is their total offense. They looked strong. For Berwick, not much in the rushing game, just 22 yards, but just 15 rushing attempts. Gavin Galusha, 5 carries for 11 yards. Caleb May at the end of the game, 2 for 8. Ty Wilkerson on a jet sweep, just 2. Billy Hansen tried the same thing, just 2 for him. Brock Sims at the end, a 2-yard gain. And then the quarterbacks, Lisnock had 4 carries for 1 yard. Ashton Smith, he was sacked once for -4. A net of 22 yards on in-game. Passing, I have the quarterbacks combined, and they both played significantly, Ashton Smith and Jake Lisnock. I have them combined with 7 completes in 24 attempts. 1 interception, 85 yards in the air. Leading receiver, Ty Wilkerson, caught a 41-yarder early, also a 5-yard catch and a 1-yard catch, total of 47 for him on 3 catches. The rest are singleton catches. Billy Hansen caught a 25-yarder. Julian Howe had to go up high to prevent an interception, got 2 yards on that catch. Gabe Decker caught one for 11, and Galusha caught a swing pass, but stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain. 85 yards in the air, 22 on the ground, total of 107 yards in offense, but compared to the 255 of Mid-Valley, just not enough in this one, Jimmy.
It was not. 28-7 is the final. Mid-Valley over Berwick. For a look at other scores as we kick off weekend number 2 of the 2024 high school football season, let's go to Ashlyn Walshaw.
Thanks, Jim. Western Wayne won over Lackawanna Trail 28-7. That's final. Williamsport won over Hazelton area 23-6. That's final. Tunkhannock won over Holy Redeemer 42-0. That's final. Wyoming area is winning or leads Dallas 42-35 in the fourth. Riverside leads Hanover area 55-13 in the fourth. Carbondale won over Nanacoke 26-0. That's final. Shamokin won over Lake Lehman 49-0. That's final. Twin Valley won over Selinsgrove 40-10. That's final. Southern Columbia leads Loyalsock 47-0 in the fourth. Mount Carmel leads over Central Columbia 36-16 in the fourth. Danville leads over Mifflinburg 54-8 in the fourth. Jersey Shore won over Delaware Valley 14-10. That's final. Valley View leads Crestwood 28-13 in the fourth. North Pocono beat Pittston area 23-13. That's final. Stroudsburg leads over Wilkes-Barre area 28-20 in the fourth. Scranton beat Wyoming Valley West 36-13. That's final. Morrisville beat Columbia Montour Valtech 47-20. That's final. Montoursville beat Milton 20-0. That's final. Lewisburg beat Shikellamy 35-0. That's final. Warrior Run beat Montgomery 35-7. That's final. Now back to Jim and Andy one more time at Spartan Stadium.
Okay, thank you very much, Ashlyn. Here it is Mid-Valley going to 2-0 in the season. Their next action will be at Old Forge next Friday night in a 7 o'clock kickoff. For the Bulldogs, they fall to 0-2. They will go to Factoryville next Friday to take on the Lions of Lackawanna Trail. You heard Ashlyn give that score.